All right, so we are live and recording. So it's late night. We started almost 10 after 9. When last we left off, if you guys will pull up roll 20, you had stumbled on or located the fancy ship that people have been interested in. I believe they were calling it the Rebel. Mikey had made an interesting friend at the bar. You guys had followed him there, and you were trying to decide your next step. So as soon as Adam loads this up.
We gotta wait for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what you get for free. Oh, it's the Renegade, sorry. Not the Rebel, the Renegade.
So it doesn't have like a general D painted on it. It's not orange and double zero.
Listen, my kids love Dukes of Hazzard now.
Which Dukes of Hazzard?
Why would you not love Dukes of Hazzard?
The original.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. It was a great.
There are certain parts of the movie that are not bad to look at all.
No. All right. So, there is the Renegade. If you pull up your roll 20 link, it's a nice looking.
I see the Renegade.
It is a nice looking ship.
It's mine. It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
And to just refresh my memory, there was that big guy that wrestled a lot with Mike.
Yeah.
And we tried to follow him. And did we follow him into a house, and then the house took off into orbit? Is that what happened? He had a tracker on him?
You call it a house. It was, you know, the houses there were more like just ships that had docked.
Gotcha.
You know, it was a very organic.
What we mistook for a house was actually a docked
vessel.
Vessel.
It was kind of like playing Jungle Cop.
Sure. And you followed him to this location.
And then we followed it, and we were cloaked, and we found Renegade in orbit around the asteroid that we were on, or just out someplace else.
The far side of another planet. So it was kind of in a hidden sensor area.
Oh, okay, got it.
And you guys made a fantastic roll to make your cloaking device work.
Yeah.
Jeff's gloating about that.
Teamwork right there.
Oh, that's right. It was All Thumbs and Tyson
And the cat,
Mr.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth was doing well until you activated the laser, and then you started chasing up the wall.
Exactly.
All right, so we are now cloaked, what we think is successfully within range of the Renegade.
Correct.
Right, okay, so we found the ship. Now what the hell do we do? We cannot blow it up. It'll destroy us. We'll have to be a bit smarter, I think.
Why don't we just fly down and dock on it and invade?
You don't actually see a docking port. You do see an airlock on the starboard side, at the right-hand side.
Oh, wait a minute. Can we mount the docking port? I mean...
There is no docking port, so there is an
Keep your
airlock.
own sexual habits to yourself there, Bigglesworth. You're always trying to melt something. I would have sworn you were from the planet of the dog people, not the cat people.
Even the cat people need to reproduce.
So we think that we see a place where we could connect our ship to an airlock.
Yes, let me see here.
I just want to point out it's tough being a cat person. You get a lot of fur.
Airball.
Exactly.
Guys, we can always do a,
Right, it's right around there.
We can always do a kind of a red herring where we pretend to leave the space station, blow a.
You're long gone from the space station. You followed his ship to this location. It does look. You see, there's a little shuttle coming out of the top. That is not. It's actually sealed up right now. You don't see that. But that's not a docking clamp so much as an open and closed door kind of thing.
Right. Dexter,
Our ship would not fit in there.
Correct.
Okay.
Dexter, can you be doing something with the ship sensors? Tell us what we've got here.
If I scan them too hard, I don't want to do too deep of a scan because then they'll know that we're here. That's how scanners work.
Got ya. Is there some way that we can tell how many living creatures are on the ship?
Well, based on its size, it's probably got a minimum crew of. Anybody know anything about ships? I can make it. Hey, wait, actually, no, wait a minute. If we're gonna have to make it's probably got a minimum crew of like 3. So I would say 3 to 5. And that's all that ship kind of needs.
Wesley?
Are they making friendly contact with the surface?
No, they're in orbit. It's a non-habitable world. It looks like they're just either they're disabled or they're just hanging out.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We know that Jam Jonas can take on the big guy, so we'll let him take on the big guy, and then Dexter, you could take on the other 2, and then that leaves the rest of us to help. So that's 3 covered right there. Let's get him through the airlock.
I think the big guy had an awful lot of that blue juice that he was drinking that night.
He did. He was not moving too spryly.
I think Sue
When
can
last
take
was
care of a couple.
I think we send Sue down there, and then we just come in after her. I mean him. Sorry, Stu.
Stu.
Oh, God.
That psychotic bastard killed 42 people, harmless and defenseless on the cruise ship. There should be no problem for him.
It was 4. It was 12.
It was 12, and they had a mean look in their eye.
Damn right they did. They were going to give us away.
Bloody ridiculous. Right, so I say, for a change, let's get in through the airlock and see what we've got. Maybe they're all hooked up on drugs.
Well, there are a dozen spacesuits if you wanted for the EVA to get to the airlock.
What
if
are our
once there's a dozen of us?
What are our chances to lock up next to them?
I don't have a mechanism to dock airlock to airlock.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It is going to be an extravehicular
Assault.
event.
Alright, what kind of,
EV.
how close can we get to?
What if we fashioned a docking collar and we attached it to Sarah and made it so that it would attach on the ship? Is that something that all thumbs can bring together?
That's well beyond what we have here. I'm not designed for that.
Their core is bigger than ours.
Yeah.
Sarah, what
Well, then
woman
we
is
make a
designed
comic
for that,
book.
Sarah?
Well, I'm sorry.
My docking port is only so big.
So,
That's
so
what
I
she
think
said.
we're seeing a plan starting to form here. We'll all get in the EVA suits, we'll pull up close as we can, then we'll shoot off from our ship onto theirs and hopefully catch on to theirs, and then break in through the airlock, and then take them all out, and then take the ship, and then get drunk. Is that the plan?
That is what I was going to say.
Exact word for word.
Verbatim.
What if we can't get the airlock open from the outside?
Then we just get drunk.
In space.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's bringing all the booze with them?
It's in my
I'll be having a
It's in my liver.
It's in my camel pack.
It's in your camel pack. Got it.
Well, you know, if it's a question of strength, you've got that metal that thing's got some strength to it. Maybe it can open up the airlock for us.
I think we need to bring with us anything that could be useful in opening up an airlock or the shuttle bay.
Well, give me a common knowledge check, or if anybody who has like a tech check wants to make that.
I know somebody who's got a tech check for ships.
Check.
Knowledge.
I was just thinking you could use that robot slave of yours, Captain. Tell it to open up the airlock.
I got a crazy idea. What if we just put on the suits, rip a hole in the hull, let everybody get sucked out,
13.
All right, so
and then we can patch the hole in the hull?
so Tyson's 13.
Yeah, that's really no point.
He's fairly confident that.
He actually thinks he designed that airlock.
Give me my water cup. Will you?
Yeah, that's
He realizes that all airlocks are designed to be open from both the in and outside, and that he should be able to. Mikey, you're killing us. Mikey, you're killing us with the dice.
That's not dice. It was a
Pop,
bag of
pop rocks.
potato chips. Yeah, Pop Rocks. Exactly.
Just don't drink Diet Coke with that. I heard that killed Mike.
Yeah.
So Tyson's fairly confident that he should be able to either just naturally open it or hot wire it so that he could get in directly.
Hot wire the airlock.
I don't like space.
Who does?
You're a space pirate.
You don't like space, laddie. Next thing you'll be telling me you don't like to drink scotch. The hell's the matter with you? You're not a proper engineer, are you?
I failed out of astronaut school for a reason.
It's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I find it ironic that Scotty is telling the.
Good to give it more power.
Hey, so what are we doing here, boys?
I think we get our dress up on. We get as close to the ship as possible, and we go across. What do we think their scanners,
Do they know we're here?
scanners,
Shields.
Oh, I'm sure they know we're here.
sensors? How small of an object do you think their sensors will detect? Will they detect us entering? How long do you think you'd have?
Tyson and Dexter, you want to make checks on that?
Dexter doesn't know shit about ships.
2.
Tyson,
He's gonna try to apply some logic to the situation. Now.
anybody wants to make a common knowledge check to figure this out, I'm welcome to it. Or if you have a technical check you can make.
Somebody's thinking about space right now.
Mr. Bigglesworth will make a check.
There you go.
Actually, I get a +2 to the scholarship.
Oh.
That was 15. 4.
You opened the airlock from within, Sarah.
It's common knowledge. It's 7 for Dexter.
And Rain got a 4.
And Mr. Bigglesworth got a 7 also.
All right, so the guys with 7s, Mr. Bigglesworth draws on his previous experience. Dexter, after looking at the code in Sarah that he helped apply for the scanners, thinks that an object that size moving slowly would probably be ignored by the sensors because it's probably not a weapon since there's no other vessel in the area. It has no significant energy emissions.
That meaning its ability to scan us. Is what we're talking about.
You as individuals on the EVA or the ship of Sarah?
Their
How
scanners.
close can we get with Sarah? Is what we're really trying to determine.
Well, but I also think their scanners, if they're checking for energy signatures, our suits don't give off very high energy signatures. They're looking for bigger ships that are
They're not looking for the radiation.
cells,
person.
like yeah.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Okay. I don't know, how many are we going to drift like 100,000 kilometers over that thing? I don't know. I like that.
I think we get within 100 kilometers.
Think how they're-
That's what we call near miss in the airline industry.
if All Thumbs makes a nice check, and I believe he has a pilot of at least D6,
I'm pretty sure it's a D12.
oh, Skill Monkey, got it.
Plus
No,
2.
I'm just making shit up to make it better for us. That's for you, Chris. Don't crash.
Bob, why don't you give me a skill check for All Thumbs? We'll call it a D8 for piloting.
D8?
Yeah.
Sure. Got a 5, and we'll try his wild die as well.
Well, where's the fancy computation?
Alright.
They only adds them together.
Sorry. There. A 5 on the D6, and a 7 on the D8.
All right. So All Thumbs manages to pull in relatively close. We're going to say probably a couple football fields distance. He had a good day.
So we're locked the outside of our ship looking up at that thing.
You're more side to side than up and down.
It still feels like looking at it.
Yes. Who is suited up and going for the trip?
Sue has to go.
Both my guys are ready.
Sue's going in first because he's a shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy.
Oh, definitely. Well, I don't know about first, but.
Well, I think in this case, shoot first might not be a bad idea.
Oh, I thought you were about going in first. Oh, he definitely.
Tyson gives you a big magnet with a tether on it.
It's a plastic ship. All right, Michael.
J. Jonah's going.
Bob?
Brain is definitely interested in seeing what's on the ship, so he's game. And Tom Servo addresses the captain. Sir, if you are putting yourself into a situation of danger, I insist that I join you.
Wesley?
I'm ready to jump across.
Tom Servo.
Tom Servo said? Tom Servo, you need to stay here and man the hatches. They might pick up your energy signature.
Sir, it's entirely possible that I might be the only thing they don't pick up. They may have automated droids just like myself on the ship. I might be able to pass undetected.
Those aren't the droids they're looking for.
Dude, pound that shit. Oh, yeah.
You get a Betty for that one. Dr. Hartnell, or I'm assuming All Thumbs has the pilot, so he's stuck there.
Hartnell's definitely going.
Oh, Dr. Hartnell has been staring at a vial of blue liquid for the past 24 hours.
Do they have a
He
death
cannot
bay? Are you
wait
sick
to
bay?
find an experimental victim for this.
Oh, the vial. I forgot about that one.
This is a ship full of test subjects in his perspective. That's all.
You know, it's really interesting. I have to really go back and listen to all this so I could take some better notes, because that was really fast and loose is what I said earlier. All right, so Wesley, Tyson, Sue, Dexter, Jay Jonah, Dr. Hartnell, Rain, and is Tom Servo going or not?
No.
Wesley says no. What does Tom Servo say?
Sir, I of course will follow your directive, but I do want to remind you that my titanium alloy chassis can reflect lasers better than your flesh.
Bring the damn robot, will you? We need another. Anybody. All more fighters are better.
Wesley's not sure, but Tyson thinks that Tom Servo could be useful in opening up the docking bay, so he'll make it so.
The airlock.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Prepare yourself.
All right, so Tom Servo does not require any kind of suit. The rest of you suit up. Dexter's suit barely makes it around his
Muscles.
his
Very soft
his midsection.
muscles.
It's so exoskeleton.
I've got to get you a new suit there, Dexter. That one's just a wee bit tiny for you.
Why did you pick such a small suit?
Dude, one size fits all. I don't understand.
One size fits most.
All right, so the hatch opens. Looking out into the vastness of space. You all take your big gulp.
And I push Sue out first.
We went to 7 up to get a pickle.
In the opposite direction.
Thank you
Just
very much.
before you push off, lad, just keep in mind, don't make a mistake here, because if you miss the ship, you'll just float on for eternity. You'll slowly die of starvation and dehydration, but I suspect the madness will get to you first. So be careful when you push off.
Or Sarah can come pick us up.
Are we,
Right, or that could happen.
Yeah,
are we
Or
shooting a magnetized
Dr. Hart-
grappling hook across first?
Are you tethered? Because that works so good for you.
As long as I'm not tied to Bob.
We are using our
Listen.
magnetized grappling hook.
As long as Dr. Hartnell doesn't give us a little prick, because we've been out in the coldness of space.
All right, the grappling hook has a firing mechanism. Who's gonna pull the trigger on that to try to?
Anybody got shooting?
I think Jake's probably the most qualified.
J. Jonah Jameson is shooting.
The only person in his crew that's a little prick is Jane. Sue.
I think you had it right the second time.
Yeah.
All right,
Shooting.
so
Alright, J. Jonah's going to give it a shot. 7.
All right, so you managed to hit the broadside of the barn.
That barn is really far away.
That's a big barn.
You're not as close to the airlock as you would like to be. They're open. They're a little good luck ribbing there from the other gentleman, but you believe successfully get across the other side. Who is going to go first?
Crazy Sue.
If one of you other painting ways to go, I'll go first.
All
I
right.
was going to say that the gun is in my hand, so I have to kind of hold back for right now because I'm holding the cable.
It detaches, so we can attach it to the hull of our ship. Darn fool idiot.
I was just hoping you'd step up, so go for it.
Sue will go across first.
Captain
Give me-
Wesley, I have a very important notification for you, sir.
Yes, Tom.
This is after Sue's going down the line.
Sue, I'd like a agility check.
I've detected something extremely alarming, sir. I think you should know about it at once.
Yes, Tom.
Do
What is
a
it, Tom?
agility check to push and then just kind of.
It's more about the landing.
starboard port, sir, it's a bit dirty. I think I need to clean it. I don't think vision is perfectly impaired through it, but it's quite dirty, sir.
Tom, I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Just ignore it for now.
Yes, sir.
We'll get it when we come back.
Very good, sir.
All right. Sue pushes off from the ship.
I just want to know, do we tell Dexter to get ready to transport Sarah on board this thing once we take it over?
Well, once we take it over, we'll have all the time in the world. Right now, Dexter is worried about what kind of security systems we may encounter on this ship.
It's good to have Molly on
Sue
the
may
ship.
have pushed off a little hard. A little harder than he intended.
And what did Sue roll?
A 3.
Sue smashes into the side of the ship. Does not
that
land.
looks like that got to hurt.
Does not land gracefully, and takes 5 damage.
Oh, I'm so glad that's not me.
It's really just a matter of if I roll really well, you're gonna be shaken, and there's a slim chance of a wound. Who's next?
Everybody, be a little more careful. Wesley's
Sue.
going to go across as the captain.
All right, agility check.
Oh, yeah, yes, Captain. Thanks. So Sue's hanging on the other side and no clue how to deal with this airlock.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Tyson's on his way next.
Now, we could just go and leave Sue there and go. This is our opportunity, you know.
Well, aren't you supposed to... Ray, I can hear you.
Wesley's 15 is needless to
He's
say.
going to help Tyson.
Sli-
So he, let's go, does a backflip.
Yeah,
He
he's
goes all Ender's Game on this
Come on,
shit.
Tyson.
he's basically got 0G training. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Adam, did you say he goes all Ender's Game on this ship?
Yes, he
that's
did.
all purely a reference to the like he knew he was going down.
He is
not
gonna
sliding
help
on his
Tyson.
back.
Because Tyson is my not.
You can use a Benny on any character. We decided that last session.
Yes, but he has a D4 agility, Tyson.
You still only get 1 wild die, though. You have to decide which character gets that.
That's what I'm saying. Here's Tyson. 3. With help from Wesley with 15.
All right, I'll give Tyson. Wesley catches Tyson. Helps not crush his ribs on the side of the ship. Next up,
I'll go.
Jay Jonas.
If Captain Wesley is going, then Tom Servo is right behind him.
Oh yeah, Servo's got to go next.
Jay Jonas
Servo
secures.
would insist.
Jay Jonas secures the zip line, for lack of a better term, to Sarah.
4, and Tom Servo is not a wild card, so he just has his agility roll.
So Tom Servo makes it across, energizes his magnetic feet as he gets close by. Chunk, chunk. Carefully lands and walks out on the side of the ship like it's nothing.
I hope they can't hear this inside the ship. Between between Sue and Tom Servo clunking around on this thing.
Next up,
I suppose you're right, sir. And on top of that, they might be listening to our communication devices as we speak in the helmets of your UVAs, CVAs.
who's next?
Hey, I haven't had a stroke yet. All right, Jay Jonas up next. Exploded on my wild die. Of course, that's not the higher die, but whatever. 9 total.
9 total. So Jay Jonah makes it look almost as easy as Wesley did. He looks like an amateur. gymnast compared to Wesley's Olympic level, but otherwise he makes the trip relatively comfortably. Still left is Dexter and Rain and Dr. Hartnell.
Well, Dexter doesn't want to be last, so I'll go next.
Me. Come on, Beaker.
All right, we're going to try. Can we do anything to aid him from our side?
If he rolls,
don't shake the cable.
if he rolls like a 3, I'll give him a +1. So you guys that would represent you guys catching him.
Oh man, you rolled a 1. Does that count as snake eyes? It's only 1-1.
Halfway across, Dexter panics, accidentally presses the release mechanism for his tether, and begins to drift into space.
Dr. Hartnell says, "In space, no one can hear you scream."
Actually, he's screaming
And
really
then
loud.
Dexter's going,
Help me!
Help me, guys!
3 meters.
I'm assuming we brought another one of the guns with the magnets.
You didn't want to tether each other, huh? Yeah. That's up to you. If you want to say you brought that, I'll let it slide and let you have that.
Get one shot.
Wait, I grabbed the other one off my little belt, and I attempt to shoot Dexter.
All right,
Dexter.
Dexter is a moving target.
I realize that, so I'm going to aim ahead of Dexter.
All right, so Dexter is now
You should also take your time to aim, too.
5
Yes,
meters.
I'm gonna take my time to aim.
Dexter has
+1.
some unfamiliar warmth in the lower section of his
You
suit.
would be surprised how familiar that one actually is.
Dexter's got a little warm spot in his suit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Dexter. We're aiming, and we're taking our time to aim. Oh.
7 meters.
Oh, that's not good, Dexter. We only rolled a 7.
10 meters.
Plus 1. 7 plus 1 and 8.
Because you had to get him with a raise. So you managed to hit Dexter with the magnet. Blink.
What does it stick to?
There's metal pieces all over the suit.
Okay.
So, and
It sticks to his helmet.
there you go. And you're able to reel him back in. Does he stop screaming finally?
No.
Not yet.
When
When he hears the big thunk on his helmet, he probably freaks out.
Yeah, you can't really see outside of your helmet, I guess. Too much moisture in there.
I do not understand it. You've got a planet for a brain, and yet you still went ahead and hit the release button. Stop hitting the wrong buttons, man. Get in control of yourself.
I did not hit the release button. It came loose on its own. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, like as if there was something else in space that could have accidentally hit that for you. A piece of laundry, maybe. Maybe somebody's underwear, somebody's knickers just went fly and hit the button.
Have you ever heard of space junk? It could have been a bit of solar radiation could come through and trigger the micro switch inside. Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants?
Only thing for a joke right now is your excuse. Get it together, man.
According to the readout on your suit, you panicked.
Thank you, Sarah.
No problem.
And that's why you never piss off a woman.
Aye, there's some wisdom there, lad.
Hartnell and Rain are left, correct?
Yes, Hartnell will go next. I don't recall what his agility is, but I'm guessing it's got to be at least probably a D6.
I'm guessing that, yeah. I'm
He's
guessing
also
6.
an old man, though, so he has some penalties to that. We'll say D6.
Did he have that hindrance?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he had that hindrance. I don't think he did. I think he just played as an old man. So the first D6 was a 1, and the second D6 is wild die is a 3. So I think Hartnell is going to expend a penny to make sure that he doesn't go away. Try to re-roll that.
We said we were helping them.
Yeah, on a roll of a 3, I'd give you the help of catching them.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm just looking for old as a hindrance, Bob, just so you know. And it's not old, is it?
Elderly.
elderly. Pace -1, -1.
That's the proper term down here in Florida as well.
-1 to strength and vigor die types. +5 skill points for any skills linked to smarts. So I don't think he did choose elderly then. But he comes over, somewhat out of control. You guys are able to steady and catch him before he slams into the hull and does any damage to himself.
Sue gives him a big bear hug.
No, he doesn't.
And then he slips Sue the blue cocktail. Anyway.
Not yet. Not yet. Thank you.
Rain?
Rain will bring up the rear. And here is his 1d8 agility, which he got a 6. And his what? So he got a 6 total.
Alright, so Rain makes it across not nearly as gracefully as Wesley or Jay Jonah, but he does an adequate job. Lands on the hull. Tyson heads on over to the airlock, which he believed he could open. Let me check.
They're supposed to get a scroll.
Why don't we get back to this in a little bit? Because you're needed right now.
Why don't you
Just
read
go. Just.
it?
No,
Can you roll the die?
Say my marriage.
All right.
-1. Say your marriage.
So Tyson is going to use his smarts.
It involves my wife watching television. This is like, this great kind of stuff.
Die.
Because there's nothing better
Smarts or
than-
something else, Jeff? Does it have a skill for chips?
Knowledge ships.
That'd be better.
Okay, 10.
There you go. Jeff aced his 10 again.
12 plus 2 is 14.
So
Wow.
Tyson walks over there and he's like, "Oh, you just pressed his button."
Oh, this design.
You know, Tyson, you're pretty good with stuff like this. I think you should be doing some sort of documentary, some sort of program talking about space and technology. I think you'd be really good at it.
A natural.
Oh, does he do a show? Yes, it's coming out next month, isn't it?
Yeah, Cosmos.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to need you to indulge me for a moment here. I am going to try to use
So like with
what's the magic word I'm looking for? Fog of War. So I'm going to switch you. I don't know if you're going to see the whole. If you see the whole ship, then I've already screwed it up. All right. Scroll around on there because the ship is it takes up a lot of space there.
You can try to use the click again to the controller, the shift click, but we'll zoom too and see if we can find it.
I have just a black screen. I have nothing.
Yeah, but if you scroll, Mike, you can scroll left and right.
I scrolled all the way to the bottom.
All right. So okay, Adam can't see it, so it's perfect. You managed to get in the airlock. Hold on a second. Let me remember how to do this because I did it last time. Reveal.
That's fantastic.
Polygon reveal. Hold shift to snap the grid.
Look at Josh playing with Fog of War. This is exciting.
All right. So you guys should have an area you can see now.
Okay.
Can you direct us? Yeah, can you do the shift click again to bring our screen to where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, because I had nothing.
Oh,
There we go.
Thank you, sir. Oh, well done, Josh. You have really done well with the map and Fog of War. This is lovely.
If you scroll, slide out, zoom out a little bit, Adam. You guys came in on the red line right there on the right-hand side, where those 4 things are.
Okay.
Maybe even 50%.
70% works pretty well for me, Mike.
Okay. Thanks, Bob.
All right. So, boarding the ship, your senses are immediately assaulted by music and other sounds of merriment. Jay Jonah's friend is there waiting for you. He hands each of you a unitard-looking suit.
Wait, Jay Jonah's friend.
Jay Jonah's friend from the bar.
I was whistling.
Oh.
You recognize it as a costume like someone would wear on Halloween. He is fairly insistent you put it on. Costume! Where?
Okay.
Clothes or
How you
Do we
choose
get a
to...
chance to expand?
what are you smoking?
What was that, Mikey?
I was going to say, are they sized appropriately?
How big's the couch?
they're one size fits all.
Yeah, right.
They're you and I cards.
They so those of you who are versed in culture recognize them as costumes that will project a holographic costume around you once you don it.
Are any of you versed in culture?
So some of you have just seen it on TV.
I did not think the skill in knowledge of culture.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Wesley starts putting it on.
All right. And you do have to strip out of your regular clothes to put it on.
As I'm getting the suit on, I ask him, "How did you know we were coming?"
Me smart.
No, you misunderstood. How did you know we were coming?
You ass.
Tom Servo attempts to put on the suit, but his robotic body simply does not fit such material. It's just too big in all the wrong spaces. He gets one part of the arm over his head, and he gets one of the legs over his arm, and he's walking around almost like a flag at half mast on a dilapidated fortress. Sir, I could use some help with putting on the garment.
Aye, so is Wesley. He's unfortunate too.
All right.
He's having a hard time getting the unitard to cover everything up.
What?
The unitard.
Once the unitard is fully on, it wavers and transforms into the most detailed costume you've ever seen.
Into the most detailed handcuffs you've ever seen.
Mikey.
Josh, I am thinking that Tom Servo will not fit the suit.
That is correct. That's fine. Mikey, you draw a 7. I have a deck of cards, Bob and Mike. I have created a randomly generated table.
Is it a random generator?
No, I made the table this morning at lunch. This afternoon at lunch.
This is a random generator.
Yes. So Mikey's costume changes into that of a pirate from 17th century.
I was going to say, so it looks like
How
himself.
appropriate.
Yes.
Perfect.
17th century Earth?
Yes. Rain. Ballerina.
What the bloody hell? You've got to be freaking kidding me. I'm not a bloody ballerina.
It'd be better if he couldn't tell.
Hey,
what
Jed
he was
Jonah,
talking
Jed's
about.
with me. I'll be the pirate. I even sound like a 17th century pirate. Give me that one, I'll give you this one. Let's do a trade.
There is no way, Rain, that I had given you my costume.
Hey, you robot.
You look adorable.
This is bloody ridiculous.
Look at those knobby knees you have.
Unbelievable. I have lovely knees. I don't know what you're talking about.
But he's got great, strong-looking legs.
Dr. Hartnell wavers and is immediately encased in plate mail armor as a knight.
Indeed.
So,
I would be happy to rescue anyone who needs it. Just
Sue. Sue has the baby outfit. So what's worse than ballerina? Your two toughest guys, ballerina and baby. Total random deck of the cards.
You know, I thought I looked bad to you, but you look like a total baby. Just a giant baby. Look at your wee baby bottom.
Can I
No, you don't understand what's next. Item number 9. Dexter. Nerd. Dexter puts on his costume. He doesn't change in appearance.
That's funny.
Dexter, yours is malfunctioning.
Yours ain't working at all, Dexter. You look exactly the same.
Except your glasses look a little different, that's all.
There we go. I'm going to tape on it.
The tape's on the other side.
There's less tape on it right now.
Tyson. Robin Hood, complete with tights.
Tights. Mike, you should be all over that one.
Tyson.
I know.
Tyson. And lastly,
Wesley.
Wesley got the Joker.
Uh-oh.
Your choice.
What are the choices? Baby. Two baby. Big baby.
Other ones I had on the list. And you can totally picture this. So the ballerina, construction worker, Indian, biker, cowboy, police officer,
Oh my god, it's the village.
pirate, knight, nerd, caveman or Tarzan, a skeleton, Robin Hood, or a baby.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's actually a good, as disguises go. It's a good disguise for.
I go construction worker.
Okay. The skeleton one was really cool because you would have become completely translucent through the bones.
That's a novelty. That's really cool.
Translucent or just
You can see through.
Sir, I am afraid that if I continue to try to wear this, I shall break it. Perhaps you should hold it. Tom Servo hands
Why don't
the
you give it to me,
Pinnacle
Servo?
leotard to Wesley.
Servo, give me that.
Wesley helps him out with tries to get like what things are going well.
Done.
And it's a travesty. It's like trying to put a lunch lady into a mini skirt. It's just not going to happen.
On a pig.
There you go.
Mikey's friend there, who still doesn't have a name, by the way, because you guys never asked him. He takes it away and puts it back in the closet.
I thought it was Kerplunk or something. Mikey, do you remember?
I was gonna say when we were at the bar, we asked each other's names.
Oh, that's right. It was my bad. It was conveniently I have names here. I have a sheet for this.
When we were going shot for shot.
Sanim. So,
Saddam Hussein.
Sanim.
Hey, Jameson, perhaps you could be asking your friend why he's doing us such a favor. Usually when somebody comes on my ship, I'm not very happy about the whole thing. He seems quite happy.
Apparently they're waiting for us and we're guests of honor at a party.
Come, late. Come, late.
Where are we going?
Party.
Party? All you guys do is party. I like you guys.
Dr. Hartnell will do a perception check to see if he can tell if this person has an ulterior motive, seeing as Dr. Hartnell is quite experienced with having ulterior motives. I'm assuming he's got a perception of D6.
Usually it's streetwise, and I believe Hartnell had a streetwise. Somebody had a streetwise.
Sue doesn't trust this guy at all.
I think Hartnell had a streetwise as well. I'm almost positive Chris said it.
So go ahead.
This is definitely not somebody that Sue would trust. Sue doesn't say anything wrong though.
So Hartnell gets a 5.
Hartnell, I mean, the man is very alien to you. He's a species he's never seen before. But you still don't have any reason not to trust him. He doesn't come off as, he almost comes off as a simpleton. I should have named him Zathras. That's a B5 reference, sorry.
Or Jar Jar.
I appreciate that reference.
No, then I would just punch him in the face.
I've not heard him respond to himself in first person. Third person.
I'm saving Zathras for something good.
Yeah, save that up for a good one someday.
For this guy's brother?
Zathras' brother was Zathras. All right, so everybody's is dressed. On the left-hand side there, where there's like a little pillar, both of those doors open. Actually, we'll just say the bottom one opens. And let's see if I can actually reveal that area too.
Oh, wow. That's lovely.
Yeah, I bought this. I'm not even going to pretend to say otherwise. Thanks, guys. You paid for it.
Wow. Cool.
We bought him a badass map.
All right, if you zoom out a little bit, Adam, you'll see a little bit more. It's a big ship.
Yeah. Look how far we had to scroll down.
Yeah. Your host leads you into the center of the ship. There's a large costume party going on, probably 50 plus people. Mostly an elegant affair. There are a few rougher looking people off in the corners. The opening in the center of the floor, which as you looks like leads down to some sort of cargo bay, actually has a shield over it and has been repurposed as a dance floor. So people are walking across it. A band is playing from the opposite left corner, and the bar is on your immediate right.
Well, Rain knows his mission priority. He
Wait.
immediately walks straight to the bar.
I will do a notice check on the people who are there.
Hold on one second. A small buffet of finger foods is on your left. After weeks of space food, the smells wafting in your direction almost drag you to that table.
But not literally fingers, though, right? I mean, they're
No.
just small little pieces
Well,
of food.
it depends. For Dr. Hartnell, it might be fingers. But anyway.
I very much am interested in fingers.
Wesley is going to do a notice check on the races that he sees present and looking to see like who's in charge, or any kind of dominant species that's there.
Maybe you should check to see if there's anybody we recognize from the space station.
Jeff is smoking on his dice. I think almost everything has exploded so far.
And this is after you rolled good TI.
I know. So it's a mixture of races, mostly common. You do recognize them all, so there's no stranger like Sanim. There does seem to be an older man. Think Ian McKenna in appearance. He seems to be in the center of attention. He walks with a cane, but still seems surprisingly limber, like he may not actually need it. It's more for affectation. So he's, being schmoozed and schmoozing around. There's all kinds of conversations and so on and so forth. I mean, the costumes range all over the place. There's a 20th century space suit, all the way up to a man dressed as the 10th Doctor.
Quick time out here. The seniors from Trouble High are going on a field trip to see Waiting for Godot. That has Sir Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart
You're
are in
kidding
it.
me.
They're going to.
I think there's only 3 characters in that whole show.
The kids are like, "Who's that?"
They should know both of them.
They take
Are you kidding?
They take out their phone and they go, "Oh, it's this.
It's Gandalf.
It's the Star Trek guy in Gandalf." It's like, oh my god, you have no idea what you're going to see. Oh, like
The Star Trek guy. Gandalf.
oh.
He was also Magneto. They were also Magneto and Professor X. My God. We should be still that.
Okay, guys.
Those
Jeff,
two
you know what's
guys
funny?
are having the time of their lives.
Oh yeah, I'm
You know
sure.
what's- Jeff, Andrea, and I both picked up tickets to that show. We're going as well, but we were much more excited.
They've been interviewed, and it seems like they get along as well as two people can be, and they're having the time of their lives. It's like as fun as they're doing that, and another like 2-man show, like every other day or something like that in New York City.
Yeah, if you follow their Twitter feed, they have fun. That's for sure.
There's gotta be some British thing.
All right.
It's,
Guys, I just want to recap. Rain is the ballerina. Wesley's construction worker. Jay Jonah's the pirate. Hartnell's the knight. Dexter's the nerd. Tyson's Robin Hood. And Sue is the baby. Is that correct?
Yes, Sue is the baby.
All right. So, obviously there's a big crowd. There's nubile young women all over. There's
of course, we don't know if they're actually well young women or not. Because we got a hot dancer with pretty legs next to us here.
Wait.
We're like, no.
no. He's still his body.
Oh, okay.
The costume just fits his body.
Oh, so it looks like Sue just in the diaper.
It literally looks like him.
It's Sue in a big giant onesie with the little hat on and the pacifier.
It looks like
Oh.
in a unitard.
Well, you don't see the unitard becomes that.
And so a beautiful, gorgeous, incredibly toned ballerina gracefully makes her way to the bar. She smiles at the bartender, and his heart just shivers slightly and beats a little more quickly.
In disgust.
She opens her mouth smiling, licks her lips seductively, and says, "Oi, have you got any famous grouse? How about William Grant's, Valentine's, Jandy Ryer, Dewars? I'm looking for some Scotchman."
Dewars.
That's how I
Sir, we have some Glenlivet. Would that do?
Well, it's crap, but I'll take it.
It's from
Aye.
it's from 2080. Which was about-
I prefer
300 years ago?
Yeah, 300 years ago.
2012, but I'll take it. It's good enough. Give me what you've got.
And he pours you a generous dose, a generous glass on the
He takes
rocks.
the glass and pushes it to the side, and then takes the bottle from the bartender, and then walks away.
Very well.
I think I like this place. It's not
Wesley
bad.
goes over to the food.
Okay. It looks sumptuous.
Sue will go to food as well.
He'll eat some.
Sue will
Oh, yeah.
actually eat some.
It's Grant, like I said,
Jay Jonah's at the food table as well.
you guys have been living on space rations for the past few weeks. It's just the most exquisite meal you've had in so long. And it's not like it's huge or overly rich or anything. It's just
It's just not space. It's
It's not space food, and it is really tasty.
Josh, William Hartnell still has his bottle of blue elixir.
Yep.
He wonders just how difficult it would be to dose the food on the table with a drop of the elixir each. Is that something that would be difficult? Is it a very occupied corner?
Well, that is very something Tom or Doc Hartnell would do.
Sue eats the food before Hartnell puts anything on.
Yeah, exactly.
The vial is not large. It would be more like you'd put a drop on something versus dosing a the table.
Excellent. Okay. He will wait until there doesn't seem to be anybody looking.
Hartnell. Put it on the stuffed mushrooms. They're disgusting. Nobody eats fungus.
Except Starling.
Right.
Except your girlfriend.
He's not going to dose the entire table, but he will take the most delicious looking finger foods, like a small plate of it, and when he has the opportunity, he'll just put drops on like 4 or 5 pieces of finger food, and he'll have it ready.
All right, so there's a chicken parm slider that Wesley thought was fantastic. The sauce was excellent. The chicken was cooked perfectly, so he put a drop on there.
They're still doing fucking sliders in the future? God damn, I thought that would pass.
They're easy. For finger foods, they're easy.
Sliders are delicious. What are you talking about? Fantastic.
Yeah, that trend's will never go out.
You know, the only thing I like better than sliders after a good long space flight are Hot Pockets. Those are the bomb, let me tell you.
There are some buffalo wings which are perfectly
I
spiced.
know we've been living on Hot Pockets.
So there's a play. You pick. Oh, and Bob, Swedish meatballs.
What's that?
Swedish meatballs.
Do they come from real sweet?
Swedish meatballs.
Oh, there's Spaceballs. Got it.
No, Jeff is thinking about it. Do you get it, Bob? You don't get the reference. You don't get the Swedish meatballs reference.
I'm not figuring it. No.
It's a B5 reference.
Oh, no.
Jakar is eating one, and he's like, every race has one of these.
Oh, it's like the gin and tonics.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
I believe you humans call them Swedish meatballs.
That's really funny.
So, yeah, it's a little mystery.
That was such a clever. There were parts of that show that were very clever.
Yes. All right. So the like I said, a woman comes up to God, who's not hideous right now.
The pirate.
Dexter hasn't changed much.
Construction worker Wesley and asks him to dance.
Oh, what's the other dance?
She's a little shorter than him, athletic build, dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. I'm describing Sherry.
A little old.
While Wesley and his date seem to go out on the dance floor, J. Jonah grabs Rain and says, I think this just became a little bit more difficult than we anticipated.
A little more difficult. You're telling me we've got 70 people on the ship. How are we going to take this thing over with 70 people?
Lock the doors.
Jeff, do you have a dance skill?
Yeah. All right, that was my top skill I took. Dancing. With Wesley.
This is Wesley.
Plastered to a wall.
How was your streetwise?
I'll give you a streetwise roll for your dancing.
That's fair.
For schmoozing.
So we'll pick up on what's going on around him.
5.
5.
I didn't explode either one. I had a 3 and a 5.
All right, so you don't light the dance floor on fire. You're not John Travolta, but you do a very respectable job. You're not Saturday Night Fever. You do a very respectable job. You know, the dance ends. Everybody gives the obligatory golf clap. So, J. Jonah and Rain, you are still scouting the crowd.
We are heading back to the bar.
All right. Sue.
Yeah, Sue's gonna drink.
Little out of his element.
Sue should definitely get a drink.
His finger trigger's getting a little itchy, but it's more just because there's no one else to do. So he might as well drink.
Tyson?
He's just people watching right now.
Is he standing next to Dexter?
He looks good right now. scout out the technology that's there.
All right. So just so you realize, there are areas to the left and top and bottom. The top and bottom are actually you guys don't see it because Adam hasn't scrolled out far enough. Top and bottom have doors. The left does go into more area, but it's kind of it's beyond your scope of sight until you move over that area.
I will venture around as much as I can within this open area.
By the way, Tom Servo is carefully picking up discarded napkins, specks of food. He is effectively and quite fastidiously cleaning up after people like a hired butler.
You're over there in the center there. Off to the left, there's some as Tyson peeks over there.
Also, VIP room?
It looks like it might be some sort of science lab that's been retooled for the purpose of this party into a gambling area. There's a table down there on the bottom where there seems to be some sort of pokerish game going on. You are familiar with the rules. And that's about all for now.
Hey, J. Jonah, why don't you ask your friend what's going on here? Why are they having a party?
I'm gonna attempt to go find him.
All right. And Dexter. Has anybody not had a chance to go? A woman comes up to Dexter. She's actually relatively attractive. She asks him to dance.
Call sick bay, quick.
Dexter has another warm spot.
I thought he was going to pass out on the deck.
This will be interesting. I don't think that guy has even talked to a female in all his life.
Is your name Sheldon?
Other than Sarah?
Sheldon.
Right.
Rain, get
Sheldon
your camera
Cooper.
out.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm sorry, you know where the bathroom is?
I believe it's the room you came through.
I'll be right back.
Sarah?
I'll be waiting for you.
She follows
I'll
you.
be waiting for you.
She's thinking maybe you want to be alone with her in the bathroom, maybe.
You help with that?
She obviously hasn't gotten inside his unitard and felt the dampness.
All right, so
That thing's not skin tight for a reason.
So Dexter is separated from the group. Got it. Moving on.
I was hoping it would be another location you could actually scout out, but you know what? It's character. I'll do it because it's totally character.
You can see there's actually a little potty there.
I can't see where you're pointing.
There's a latrine.
I
There's
got
a little crapper and a sink.
Do you guys think?
Apparently a bed.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys feel that? Do you think bathrooms would look like this 5,000, 10,000 years in the future? That there would still be a oval-shaped toilet that you sit on? Don't you think like there would be new technology for pooping as well?
Well, I mean, if we go back to the chamber pots and the tubes like in castles, we used to like basically shit down a big vertical tube that when you landed. It was all round. Everything the shape hasn't changed in the 500 years that I know. I don't know what would they look like in Pompeii.
Thomas Scrapper.
Yeah, I mean we're going back 1,000 years, and I'm sure we can find examples of round holes in the ground.
You can go back thousands of years in China and they're...
Or you can go back how would it take to get? You go forward into the future by a day. Take find
You find
round holes in the ground.
Well, also like where do the aliens poop? Is it like a one-size-fits-all pooper? I'm also curious about that.
I was thinking about that. Do they have like
everybody's a humanoid, so it's easier right now.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
All right. Rain and Sue standing at the bar. Two gentlemen come up to you. One dressed as a male dancer,
So he looks just
male
like Rain.
dancer.
more jazzy than ballerina-y, and the other one coming up looks like a forlorn father.
Before they can even get within talking range, Rain shouts, "Keep on walking, buddy. Keep on walking. You've got nothing here. Just keep on walking."
But I want to be your daddy, he says to Sue.
Does Sue have the ability to pull out his weapons, like a knife, for example?
You did not tell me you were packing any guns after you got changed, so I'm going to say you don't have any.
Captain Jack?
Okay.
The guy who was dressed as a forlornly worn father told Sue, who's dressed as a baby, that I want to be your daddy.
I will turn that around and tell you that I didn't tell you that I was not retrieving my weapons.
All right, if you want to pull a knife, be my guest. I'll say you each had a hand weapon, but no firearms.
Sue has 2 knives, at least.
Is Rain able to put his hand on Sue's arm before Sue pulls the...
Absolutely. If you want to make an agility check or a strength check to beat him, a pose check.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess it'd be agility. Probably agility, because we're trying to out-act.
If you're trying to be...
each other.
Sure.
So agility?
Yes.
All right. So my agility check ends up being a 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, wait, this is
9.
but this is supposed to be like a TV show where he always catches it.
He's trying to grab me. I end up pulling my knife out, putting it to his torso, not poking it in, and Rain's like reaching across me trying to pull my knife back.
All right, immediately. It's like everything stops, and 3 lasers simultaneously focus on the knife, almost instantaneously heating it to the capacity where you can't hold it because it's red hot.
Oh, jeez.
And you drop the knife.
Quickly thinking, Rain shouts, "Bad baby! Bad baby!"
And everything goes back to the way it was.
Shut the hell up, Ray. What the hell do you want? Ice!
Here you go, sir.
The timeout in the corner. Why don't you go find somebody else? Rain will try a persuasion check on the father to see if he can convince him to move on.
All right.
Persuasion D8 plus 2.
Well, Sue's gonna bend down to pick up this knife and try and put it away.
Okay, that's going to take a few minutes to cool off.
Oh, okay.
It's still glowing. You can see the heat shimmering off of it.
Persuasion is a 6 roll.
Can we tell where these came from in the...
Excuse me.
It came. You weren't even looking where it came from. So you've persuaded him well enough, but he's kind of grabbing your arm because he wants you to come along with him.
Oh, you don't know it, but I'd love to go with you. I think you look great. The only catch is I've got the space herpes. I hope you didn't mind. It just puts you out on your back for 6 years. Creates excruciating pain, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. He'll do another persuasion.
Actually, I just finally got over that, and now that I'm over it, I've built up a resistance to it. We're like a pair made, we're a match made in heaven.
Oh no, I got the super space herpes. It's the type that still works and knows that bit immunity. It causes your
resistant variety.
it causes your eyeballs to bleed. You get hemorrhoids on your cheeks, but I'm not talking about your bum cheeks. I'm talking about your face cheeks. You feel like you want to die. When you feel your tongue in your mouth, it's like sandpaper scrubbing against you all the way down to your stomach. You can't taste anything. It tastes like chalk and ash. Everything, even the most delicious birthday cake. So I'd love to go with you, but I think that I just should let you know in advance what you're getting into.
He slaps you on the ass, squeezes, and says, "S&M, even better."
He tries.
You can take a Betty Bob, by the way.
Rain gives up the sweet talk. He goes for straight intimidation. Get your friggin' hand off me before you lose it, you bastard. And the intimidation check is...
He's going to burn that Betty right now.
Oh, it's a double 1. I'm losing Betty on this right now.
He's like, "I love you talking dirty." And he goes to plant a big kiss on you.
Are you doing the double 1 stand?
He re-rolled with a Betty, and then he got a 2. Plus 2 is a 4. Which, if that's not enough, he'll keep on wasting Betties to get rid of this jerk.
The four is enough. He gets his kiss, and he just...
Oh, you got the kiss?
He went in for the kiss, and
bloody hell!
And you could tell by the look in his eyes that this was the end of the story.
As soon as the guy walks away, Rain takes a giant swig of the scotch, trying to get the taste out of his mouth.
Okay, J. Jonah, since I haven't spoken to you in a few minutes.
Is the knife cool cool enough to pick up again?
Almost. So
Jane is just staring at the knife, waiting for it to stop glowing.
your friend shows up and he's got 2 glasses in his hand.
Oh, are they blue?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
drink.
I tell them, this is an awesome party. How did you guys get all these people here?
Invite.
Invite? Is that how we got here too?
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, is this for me?
Yes. We drink
Oh.
toast.
I grab it. I say, you make the toast.
Friends.
Yes, new friends.
And he takes polishes his right off.
And I
You.
I do the same.
Oh, give me the vigor check.
I know. Hold on, let me see what my vigor is. I think it's a D6. We're going to D8. I don't know. Vigor. Okay, ready for a vigor check. 4.
All right, you feel as if you've swallowed a supernova,
Just
Is
one?
that some kind of candy?
and then it exploded in your brain.
That's kind of
Right.
4. Imagine if you got 3.
So you're not falling down drunk, but at the company party a couple weeks ago, my wife had that last glass of wine, and then she wasn't so good for the ride home. You're borderline there right now.
That's his first drink.
It was a pink black Marvel blaster.
Talk to
Yeah.
Jules. She's reading that. She's on the second book already. Tyson.
I immediately stick my fingers down my throat and vomit.
Give me a vigor check. Gag reflex is not voluntary all the time.
Do you guys recall the quote from Douglas Adams on Pan-Galactic Gargle Blasters?
Nope.
Something about it, like, somebody reaches into your brain and pulls it out sideways, if I recall.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy also mentions alcohol. It says that the best drink in existence is the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, the effect of which is like having your brains smashed out with a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick.
That is, Mikey. There it is. I could not have said it better myself.
Yeah, well, I just got a 4 in my vigor check again.
All right, so you find an inconspicuous corner, let loose. It's almost as bad going out as it was going in.
Yeah, but it's out.
All right, Wesley Tyson.
Tyson is going to work his way around the corner to get a better view of everything that's going on.
The corner. What do you mean?
Where's the bar you said?
Okay, the bar is in the.
Yeah, we can't see them. Oh, you're gonna pick.
Bar is here. Oops, that's the bar is in the top right,
Okay.
and the finger foods are down here. Obviously, the center is the dance floor.
And don't forget, you can also draw, Josh.
Yeah, but I don't want to mess the map up.
What do we got over here?
These are obviously computer. This is obviously some sort of science station, but the terminals are all
Why is
covered
everything so obvious?
because I didn't really feel like drawing the map. This station is this is covered over. It's the dessert table, chocolate fountain.
Ooh.
Ooh, is it the triple chocolate fountain?
There's a chocolate fountain, a caramel fountain, and a white chocolate fountain.
And Jeff has a laser pointed on Josh's face, shining off his teeth.
Oh, that's awesome looking.
And then at the bottom there, the big table has some sort of poker device, some sort of card game going.
Yeah, I should reflect it back.
I was still.
After Jay Jonah barfs out that drink, he walks over to the bar and gets himself a real drink.
Okay. Which he can barely taste, but that's
That's okay. It's better than the vomit and the blue stuff at this point.
Tyson takes something innocuous from the bartender and sips it as he walks his way this way,
all right.
looking around, trying to see what's around the corner.
All right. So
And now Jay Jonah is trolling for hoes.
that actually might say
Trolling?
card game down there.
I just tried using the text function to label stuff.
Oh.
I didn't know you guys could see that though. I hope I'm not ruining it. I can delete it. So
No, that's okay. I just won't save it.
We have to zoom out so far we can't see it here anyway.
Yeah, actually, I can see it. Science station, card game, bar with drinks.
All right, enough, please. All right, so Wesley, your girl departs. She gives you the wink. Says, "I'll hook up with you later."
He looks for somebody else to dance with. He's feeling it.
He's feeling it. He is the construction worker. He's all man.
He sees someone else who thinks that she looks feminine.
Hartnell will go to Tom Servo, and he will give him a small dish, and he'll put one of the chicken parms on it, and he will point out the gentleman with whom Sue got into an altercation, and he'll say, "Servo, go feed that man over there. Offer him an appetizer," and he will give him the dish with the elixir-fied appetizer.
All right, the spiked appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Tom Servo brings it over and says,
Sir, would you like another chicken parmesan appetizer?"
"I would love one."
Very good, sir. I happen to have just one on this dish right here.
"Thank you very much." And he
You're
takes
quite welcome.
it and chomps it right down really quickly. You don't notice any immediate effects.
Okay, Hartnell is watching very carefully. Can he use any of his knowledge of medicine or a notice check to see anything at all?
Absolutely. You can
Should
use
he try
no.
rolling,
You
or
can
is
use
it-
no, you
is
can
there
use
nothing?
you can use notice or your medical check, whichever one's better.
Okay. And he got a 2. I don't know if he's got a plus on his healing, but I imagine that'd be his medical.
Right. So I think he has a +2. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. I mean, the guy's not flipping out or anything like that. So.
Really want another chicken parm sandwich?
Hartnell gestures to Tom Servo and provides him, puts another of the elixir, of the spiked pieces and says, "Go offer him another one."
All right.
What's the Hartnell?
He has no reason not to.
Okay.
He's pretty servile. He will do anything probably that any crew member tells him to do, so long as it doesn't override an order from the captain.
If only, what's his name was noticed that. Tyson. Yeah. Dexter.
He's basically the entire ship's bitch. Yeah.
All right. So the man happily devours the next appetizer once again, and Hartnell was surprised based on what the chemical analysis had shown and what his experience of just getting a slight whiff of the vapors was. That this man is not showing any reaction at all.
Hartnell considers this from a medical perspective. He thinks that perhaps the man either has a tremendous immunity or his system doesn't react to it in the same way a human system does, or perhaps is it possible that this man doesn't exist, that he too is a complete hologram?
Or that the man is addicted to this substance already and that's not enough to affect him. He left that one out.
Oh yes, that's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. Based on what he knows of the elixir, does Hartnell know of any potential side effects to somebody who is addicted? Would there be a telltale physical sign that he could detect on that particular man?
He doesn't know enough.
Okay, all right. He'll observe. For now, he'll hold on to his remaining 2 or 3 bites, and he'll observe the man.
All right. Anybody going to the card table to gamble?
I think going to the card table to gamble is an excellent idea.
Tyson's close to it, but he's not gonna actually gamble.
Are you going to help J. Jonah gamble?
As I
Actually, Sue will gamble. Let's just pick up his knife and put it away.
All right. He's got his knife. Put it away. I can just see
And he takes the bowl of ice with him.
Tyson's behind one of the guys pounding a 3 on his chest, on his heart.
Really subtle.
All right, so Jay Jonah and Sue sit down to gamble. Rain, anybody else joining them?
Rain is always up for a good game of poker or something equivalent after the whiskey is served, so he'll join.
All right, so just give me. Do you have a gambling skill?
So that's gambling.
Anybody else got gambling?
Rain has a ton of luck, but he does not have gambling right now.
What does luck give you?
Just extra bennies. That's all.
I'll give you a +1 on your unskilled check. Mikey, do you have gambling?
Negative.
All right, actually, I'll give you both. Here's what's going to happen. Is Tyson going to help him, Jeff?
Sure.
All right. Tyson is going to make a smarts check. If he succeeds, you each get a +1. If he fails, you don't. If he critical fails, well, we'll just have to see what happens.
Okay.
That's great. I love it.
6.
I said
And
smarts.
Josh, if it helps, I think
Smart.
Brain has both the luck and the great luck.
Smarts is
Bennies. He's a very lucky guy.
All right, so
Roll or?
yep, roll your D10.
One more gambling?
Yes, roll your gambling.
7.
You can add a +1 to it, thanks to Jeff.
7.
Rain, J.
It's
Jonah,
a 10. He's got a 3 unless he gets the +1 from Tyson.
he does.
Then he'll have a 4.
All right, and J. Jonah.
A 6 with the +1.
All right, so you each have what was an acceptably winning hand. You bid some, and at the end, Sue comes out ahead with a slightly better hand, takes the money from the table, and the game goes on.
Tyson walks away. He's walking around the side there to look to see if there's anything else.
All right, he isn't impressed with the tech level of what he's seeing there. I mean, most of it's covered for the party, but it's still, top of the line or even above the top of the line.
It's not overly advanced, but it's advanced.
It is. It's not the best money can buy. It's probably a little better than that, like the best government money could buy.
Does he recognize anything as Federation?
Imperium.
Imperial.
He does not. It's all kinds of stuff. It's all over the place. It's weird in that regard. It's not. It's almost like it's off the shelf parts, all put together in a unique and high end way.
Just,
So we knew what they were doing.
Yes. This is not Richard Pryor building the supercomputer in Superman 3, where he's drawn on the inside of cigarette containers and napkins, cocktail napkins. It's so bad. I watched it.
So 2 things from Rain. First, of course, he'll chat the table. He's curious to know how the other people at the table got their invitations, or if they're part of the regular crew. And second, he notices there's a ton of people. There's like 70-ish people on the dance floor, but we know that the ship, according to Dexter, can only support 5 to 6 crew, something like that.
Dexter said it needed a crew of 5 to 6 to run.
So does it seem like this ship can support 70 full-time crew members? Is it that large?
No.
Okay.
So
most people here don't belong here. He doesn't see like
Correct.
hologram emitters in the walls. Like these people are definitely seem to be real people.
Well, give me a perception check
There was no other.
or notice check. There were no other ships.
in the city.
All right. I'm just looking up what Rain's perception is.
Fox's Gotham
He has no perception.
has cast a bunch of folks, most notably Alfred is going to be played by the 3rd Doctor's son, Sean Pertwee. Fox's Gotham.
Is that
Anybody know about that?
Yeah.
The same Gotham that's going to be.
5 on perception. He's untrained.
You got a 5 and you're untrained. That's pretty good.
Got a good roll.
Seems like it's
You do see.
Um,
I want to say you don't see anything blatantly obvious, but when you pay attention, sometimes out of the corner of your eye, you'll see something that doesn't look right, like somebody wavers a little bit. Now maybe it's their costume malfunctioning, or what, you don't know. Dexter, the girls cornered you in the bathroom.
Sorry, I just find that funny.
That's what.
I picture me like literally like cornered in the corner of the stall, like the toilet's right there.
Are you gonna?
oh, sorry.
Adam has absolutely no idea what to say. This is hysterical.
Dexter is too
Prudent.
shocked to push her away if she wants to encroach in his personal space.
All right. So
But he's also too shocked to do anything about the situation.
it's getting very warm
He
under
can
Dexter's
go,
collar right now. It's getting very warm under Dexter's collar right now. It's not his pants. Well, there's some fire there too, but it's not wet fire yet.
Oh my.
Would that be a spirit roll or a spirit roll?
That'll be a spirit. That'll be a spirit roll. All right, the man that everybody had been somewhat interested in catering to, the Ian McKellen look like, approaches Wesley, and he says, "That is a very interesting choice of costume. Not one that I believe was pre-programmed."
Oh no? I got your tard on.
Yes, you do. But I believe that tard was... Oh, that's the user choice one. So it's obvious that he knows something about what's going on here. This is the guy with the cane. This is the guy who kind of knows what's going on. He seemed to be the guy that everybody, maybe he is the host. So,
This is a nice ship.
thank you very much. Yours, I didn't see yours, but I did hear you dock a short while ago. Dock wouldn't be the appropriate term, though, would it?
We're looking forward to seeing you guys here.
Ah, yes, the stealthy approach was not quite so stealthy.
You could thank the big baby for that.
Do the rest of you kind of wander over to see what's going on, or?
As soon as if we notice from the card table that Wesley is talking to him, yes, I definitely wander over.
Sue's winning. He's not going anywhere.
All right, Jay Jonah can see it. You're all vaguely aware that Wesley is now chatting with somebody. The music is stopped. It didn't stop suddenly. It's like the song ended, and the band is kind of taking a break. So there's a little more chatter going on.
I thought it was a DJ. I was thinking this was a DJ kind of party. Just chill. I got a different view of it. That's all.
Okay.
You want to start over?
You want the techno DJ? You want the techno Buck Rogers DJ?
I was thinking I should take the DJ from the party scene right now.
Here.
I don't care,
Any
man.
more pictures of Buck Rogers?
I looked it up at lunch. Courtesy the jukebox of Roll20. Did that play on your guys' computers?
Some kind of pop screen.
We get the sound in perfect surround sound, both speakers. However, the volume on it right now is quite high, so it actually is louder than your voices. So when that's playing, it's so loud and clear that we can't hear you guys speaking.
So if you want to talk about them behind, let's hit the music real quick.
That is true. That is true. Josh, Rain is going to throw his hand and walk over to Tyson and share with him that strange observation. Tyson, I'm seeing a bit of a corner of my eye. People are wavering a little bit, like there's something not quite right. Do you see what I'm talking about? There's an example right there.
I'll need a notice check out of Tyson if he follows up with that.
I will do a notice check. 7.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
You see it too. You're unable to determine though. It could it could be the costume that's not phasing right, or it could be something else that you don't understand.
Have we seen anything like this before?
You're new at this game. You're at a level of society you're not used to being at.
Actually, no, we've never seen Tyson roll as well before.
Tyson, I thought you were just going to say me.
In 5 years,
It's one of the same.
One of the
Do you know, it looks like to me a little bit. You know when you're looking at the ship, when you're looking at Sarah, and she puts on her cloaking device for just a moment, and there's that wee shimmer. It reminds me of that a little bit, but I'm not technical.
When Sarah puts on her cloaking device, it gives me a little shimmer.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. You know how much I love you.
We have
Unlike the rest of these, I'm grateful.
You know how much I tolerate you.
We know. Believe me, we know.
communication system enabled, right?
You have like a Bluetooth earpiece that communicates back to the ship. It is viewable by other people. It's not the subdermal thing you had earlier that you had to take out because it would make you sick. So it's considered like a Bluetooth earpiece.
So people hear me talking to what appears to be the head honcho.
Yes. Yeah, so everybody can hear that. So
you all still owe me 50 quid for that. I bought that. Don't forget.
So you enjoy it? You find my new ship impressive, do you?
Very much so.
Yes, I refer to her as the Renegade.
The Renegade.
The Renegade.
It seems like there's all sorts of technology kind of put together here. Kind of some of the Imperium, some Outlanders, some Triad, all kind of put together in a cohesive sort of manner.
I do have some excellent access to some excellent engineers.
Orange.
I could.
I would say if I was him.
You don't have our engine here.
So tell me, what brings you to my vessel?
We just want to. We've heard rumors about it. It's become almost legendary.
I was afraid of that. It is one of a kind.
Captain, renegade means to go back on one's word, to turn away. What is he reneging from? Why the name?
I assume Rain has walked over.
No, Rain is speaking on the microphone to the captain.
Where does the name renegade come from? Because that could have some negative connotations to it.
Well, if you must know, I have a purpose out in this general area. Can you guys see Jeff? I have been recruiting some individuals to assist me with some operations in this sector that the Triad and the Imperium may not be totally pleased with. So,
Well, we haven't pissed off anybody lately.
actually, you did.
Oh, no, you can't hear me. Fucking hell.
Well,
Lately meaning the past 3
my
hours.
crew has been known to operate, how do you say, outside of the law.
Yes, I am well aware of the bounty placed on you for the deaths of the accidental deaths of those cruise ship security
That was
guards.
not us. That was
Accidental is correct.
That's out of my ass.
Did you hear about what happened in Sochi with the guy who was operating the 5 snowflakes? They found him dead in his room the next day, stabbed like 5 times, and they're ruling it an accident. There's a guy in the hallway who saw 3 thugs leaving. Oh my
I
god!
heard
You saw nothing.
people were complaining about like the water pressure or like there was no water, and one of the officials came out and said, "We know that there's water in there. We have video of somebody pointing their shower head at the wall, turning the water on, and leaving for the whole day." And then was ushered off stage. Like, really? Russia nowadays? Not a good place to have the Olympics.
No. So anyway, sorry to have sidetracked us there.
You know, at least they're not communist anymore. They just act like it on TV.
All right, sorry to have sidetracked that. So yes, I am well aware of several of your exploits. That's why you're here.
We have some skills that could be useful.
Yes.
Oh, did he say that's why we're there? Wesley, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
If you wish to invite your friends over,
There, Captain.
if you wish to invite your friends over, they're welcome to join us.
I don't say anything. I'm waiting for them to come over.
Dexter,
Not moving. Dexter's frozen.
Dexter's pinned to the wall. He's
All right, so
Dexter's
let's-
already done. Dexter's already done. She's still
Does she know
clothed.
that yet?
She's still clothed.
I was thinking it could be like when Dexter at a party and made Dog Legend of the Nerds and it was all fucking sideways. It was seriously more messed up.
By the way, Josh, I just looked it online. That is actually not true. It's published by like a satire magazine, and then a real magazine read it and then ran with it, which created all sorts of confusion.
Somebody took an Onion article and ran it in the New York. Like the New
The
York
Sochi thing, really? Because I've read it on a relatively decent news site. So it goes.
I'll send you the Snopes link, but I'm happy to see a no dead technician.
I'm happy to hear that too. So
So not you know though, it's so believable.
it is. It is. So is anybody else joining Jeff at this point, or?
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I
Tyson
mean,
does.
I get up from the card table and walk over.
All right.
After I pick up all my money and leave.
Rain will join as well.
As you close in on the man, he looks around and he goes, "I guess the party's over." He snaps his fingers. Everybody disappears. Everybody
What
except
about the
him.
money on the table?
Gone. Everything is gone. The buffet's gone. The bar's gone. Everything is gone.
Is the bottle of scotch in Rain's hand still there?
No longer.
Oh, he
Mike's
lets out a
raging
whimper of
headache.
sadness.
Mike's raising headache's real. The food you'd eat, you're completely satisfied, but whatever it was is gone now.
What about the money that I started the poker game with?
You have your money. You have no additional money except for what you want from the other guys.
Oh, God damn it, what the fuck? Jesus Christ.
I'm
I'm
tight.
having a good time here.
Dexter is suddenly alone in the stall.
Small mess in his pants.
His small mess in his pants.
Dexter, get out of here. Where are you?
What about the guy that wrestled with Jay Jonah? Is he in the room and is he still there?
You don't see him.
Okay.
I won't say if he's in the room or not. You don't see him.
So the only person left is Ian McKellen.
Yes.
Okay.
Most impressive. Is that some of that new technology, you know?
No, we'll call that the mixture of several technologies with a great deal of processing power behind it.
Nice. Very nice.
That's a wee bit impressive there, sir.
What
That
was that,
food
sir?
that we ate, would we be able to survive on that food, or would that slowly starve us but keep us happy?
That was real food.
Wow, that's a way bit impressive there. That's what that is.
No.
Maybe it's still there. It's just close.
It's been reintegrated into the energy in which it was created from.
So if you've got
So
this
this is the
technology,
time for-
you can create food on demand, you can create people from thin air, you can be a god in your own ship, then what in the world do you need a ship like this to travel around for? Why don't you just stay at home all the time?
But are you saying you can transfer energy to matter and matter to energy?
Consider it a fancy holodeck.
But it's real.
Hollow.
How is it real? How is it any different than a holodeck?
What is this holodeck?
I don't know what the hell that is.
I'm pointing it out as an example. So,
What's your name, sir?
my name would be Mazer Rackham. Everybody give me a common knowledge check.
He's bad.
Bob knows who he is. You, Adam?
No.
I rolled 13.
13.
Is it TNG?
No. It's Ender's Game.
Oh. Shit, that's what
Adam, you didn't get the reference?
I haven't read the book in like 5 years. And I only read it once.
What book
Oh,
was it?
Rain got a 3.
4.
Doesn't matter because Mike, you rolled a 13.
Oh, I forgot Dr. Hartnell.
Stu hurt himself thinking so hard. What was that, Bob?
I forgot about Dr. Hartnell. He got a 7.
All right.
Oh. Has anybody ever seen Snatch?
No.
Oh, well, never mind then. Dexter is very well aware of who he is and his reputation.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it may be. So Dexter knows whether he should be scared right now, elated, whatever it is, that's what Dexter
All right.
feels. 15.
15. Oh, even better than Mikey. So Mikey, you recognize the name as I'm going to say you have some interest in history. Since you're a pilot, you recognize the name as the inventor of faster than light travel. Believe lost in an accident over some 300 years ago, when faster than light travel was obviously first developed.
So he's the Kelsey Grammer of this show.
Dexter obviously recognizes that and is a little more in awe.
Yeah, I would consider that appropriate.
Yeah, Mazer, in addition to inventing FTL, is also involved in significant AI enhancements and so on, and other technology advancements during his. He was the Einstein of his time.
Why was
He was the Tony Stark of his time.
Why did the Imperium not sweep him out there and set him up?
It was before the Imperium. The Imperium came into being once faster than light travel existed.
Another question, and this is maybe more of a history question for the universe we're playing the game in.
Because I'm making it up.
Is there one human who invented faster than light travel and then all the alien races took it from him? Or does every alien race have their own Einstein who eventually invented faster than light travel? And so he's one of many inventors of faster than light travel.
Some figured it out on their own. Some were given the technology from other races. Some stole it from other races.
Cool, I can live with that.
For the record, you guys are familiar with about 7 or 8 different races. You figure you've only explored not a huge amount of the galaxy.
So the races that didn't have their own FTL travel, how did they come in contact with the races who did to steal it?
The races that did landed there, met them, traded with them, crashed there. So, if you guys remember your Star Trek, TOS history, Zephyr Cochrane was the inventor of FTL. I always think the guy and he. Yeah, but no, but what happened to him later on? What happened after that?
Is Mike snorting coke?
Seriously.
It's a matter of spraying out his laptop.
What happened after that, though, was he disappeared in a warp travel experiment, and he was found on a planet with some being. I forget what it was. Yeah, the Guardian or something like that. I don't remember. The Caretaker. I don't know. No, that was Voyager. Anyway, TOS, the original series. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so you recognize him as Mazer Rackham, and for all accounts, he should be like 350 years old, but he's not.
Mike's doing the drugs and the guards.
Assuming he is the actual Mazer Rackham. Mike is trying the blue stuff, yes.
You can't be Mazer Rackham. I've seen him in the history vids. You look exactly like he does in the history vids. But that was like 300 years ago. You'd be an old man. You look like Dr. Hartnell over here. Old and decrepit, ancient, like you could crumble whenever I just touched you. Just like Dr. Hartnell over here. Whining all the time about your aches and your pains, your arthritis. Annoying the rest of the ship with all the things that you're talking about. No offense, Dr. Hartnell, but you don't look like that.
You should look like Sara right now.
Well, if you must know.
So you did some research into some genetics.
No, what actually happened was in one of my experiments, I was trapped at the event horizon of a black hole. Whereas those of you with scientific knowledge know.
Doesn't actually exist. Sorry.
Time happened slower there, because I was traveling at the speed of light or near speed of light. So for me, time moves slower than for everybody else. When I finally escaped that, I kept them down low, but I still had accounts that had accumulated vast wealth over time. So I was able to assemble the ship, and now I'm kind of curious what my invention has wrought for this galaxy. At least for the human race.
Nothing but the best, let me tell you that.
Yeah, you look like the best.
I am the best.
We have done what we've needed to do to survive. The Imperium is not all that it's cracked up to be.
Well, that's for certain. I was never a big fan of large government.
The Triad, that is not a way to govern. They govern by fear and fear alone.
The Triad is basically three or four gangs that, keep the peace by fighting each other, extorting money.
That's why every Triad has 3. They can play
So, so I'm out here right now because I think we need a little liberty. So while it may be a noble pursuit to throw off the shackles of the Imperium and take down the Triad and let people govern themselves, I realize that that's a very idealistic view of the universe.
Is there money to be made in all this?
There is.
I'm on board.
If you're interested.
I'm interested.
The rest of you?
I think that's why we're all here.
I was just saying, we haven't left yet.
It does make it easier to buy things when you have money.
Yes.
William Hartnell says, "Tell me, I saw that you have a science station on board the ship. Do you have an equally well-equipped laboratory?"
What the ship contains is mine to know for now. If we decide to do business, I will show you more of the ship as required.
Are you alone here?
He's a cat person. I heard it. It's not really him. He's a cat person.
Let me see if the wall's blocked off and the cat can't get the litter box.
Sure.
No, that was my cat.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was his cat.
Your cat or Starling's cat?
Well, Starling's cat. Well,
Or
it's-
Mr. Bigglesworth.
It's it might have been Mr. Bigglesworth over the interbound.
Mr. Bigglesworth was very excited about this affair.
Yes. So, your by the way, your vessel can decloak now.
Yeah, we yeah.
Once
So,
we get that clone working, we don't want to touch it.
Do you happen to have a spare clothes?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't want his costume back.
So you're a billionaire playboy inventor who invented faster than light travel, then you got caught in a black hole, then you did a bit of a Rip Van Winkle and traveled in time, and now you're here with your pretty toys and you want to topple empires and bring freedom to the world and the universe. Have I got that right?
Almost.
And you'll pay us for it.
And you, oh yeah, aye, and you'll pay us for it.
Ultimately, I know it's I have seen more of the galaxy than most, and there are better and worse things than here. So if I can make this a little better, I may decide to go hang out and see what it's like another 500 years from now. Because that is
Hey,
really...
Josh.
Why does this guy sound like Richard Branson?
Because Josh has no idea what the accent's going to be.
Hey, Josh, William Hartnell is carefully calculating if he were to open the bottle, pour a bunch of it into a handkerchief, and then pull a chloroform maneuver on Macam Razor.
Mazer.
Taking into account the fact that he's a bit on the older side and he would potentially expose himself to the liquid, what would he say his chances were of achieving that?
I mean, you only see him, and there are 7 of you. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 of you.
Okay, did we not forget the laser beams that came out of the ceiling at Sue?
I was hoping
I'm
you
just-
would remember that because I wanted to see his hand get all shot up.
I'm just gonna put that out there. Not that I know what he was just thinking.
Dr. William Hartnell, in a
Mikey, you were
fit
reading my
of,
mind lately.
senility, suddenly recalls the laser and puts the idea out of his mind for the moment. Only for the moment.
How many more are on your vessel?
How many were on your vessel? Perhaps you tell us and we might be telling you. We're not at liberty to tell you the contents of our ship.
All right, so there's 2 more of you there. There's the android here that doesn't do anything. There's the AI in the vessel. If you don't want to tell me, I'll know it anyway.
Well,
Excuse
you gotta
me, sir.
ask us.
Because I'm trying to build some
the
trust.
AI on our vessel is actually more like 2. She's got multiple personalities.
Is that a Sarah class AI?
Yes, it is.
Pardon me, sir. I don't mean to interrupt
How
your
do you know
maniacal
Sarah is the
laugh.
best AI I've
But-
ever worked with?
I am quite good at picking up trash. I'd just like to say thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry, I have no need to clean up the trash today. Yes, Sarah is great because I was one of her initial designers.
Oh my.
Damn, I didn't know Sarah was that old.
Sarah's several generations, removed from where she could be version 9,702. He worked on version 8, but some of her underpinnings may actually still exist. So from
Just out of character, that's like the guy who coded up the 12 lines of code that it was required to invent Pong. claiming credit for Call of Duty 4.
You make a very good point there, Bob.
Well, Sarah has enhanced abilities compared to the AI of his time. However, he still wrote the basic AI algorithms that are in use. So,
If you've been away for 300 years, then aren't you a bit out of touch with technology? Aren't there others who are sort of past what you can do? Doesn't it all look very different to you? I'll tell you, I'm just thinking of my phone. And my phone now is 3 years older, and it's so different than what it was 3 years ago. It's like it's a different machine.
Jeff's zoning out over there. Perhaps that is the case. However, with an intellect such as mine that absorbs technology like a sponge, it did not take me long to catch up and even surpass, as you can tell by the design of this vessel.
Yeah.
Where was this vessel built?
That's for me to know. In fact, I will tell you where this vessel was
It seems
built.
almost modular in nature.
This vessel was built on... I had an idea for the backstory. On Phantosis, which I'm sure none of you have heard of.
Phantosis with the mostest?
Phantosis.
Is there a little mouse thing there with a blue hat that makes waves? Has a broomstick?
No, they are the greatest shipbuilders in the galaxy. Of course, they don't fly in ships. I've been reading too much Douglas Adams lately. No, it's not. I'm making that shit up, but it sounds like something he wrote. So they built the vessel for me, based on my specifications.
They drive from Genosis? Driving a Belgian army, but nobody's ever heard of us?
No, it's from one of the random planet names I picked out of the random planet generator. Go Gadget, having all the names ready.
Right, so we've established you know how many people might be on our ship, you know the type of ship we've got, and you haven't blown us out of the water, so you don't want us dead, so let's cut to the chase. We can understand you're a very smart man, and you're very rich, and the size of your wiener is very, very large, but what do you want
Particularly
from us?
compared to his, Dexter.
It's cold in here. But it's fine.
He was just swimming in your toilet bowl.
Don't worry, Dexter, some of us are growers, not showers.
Adam, this twice you've been stumped tonight. That's rare. So you were saying...
I believe what he's trying to say is, what the hell do you want from us?
Aye, that's what I was saying.
Let's
What,
just...
do you not speak English?
I'm not going to use my English accent. Use the Queen's English. Because my English accent sucks, I know.
Oh, come on. I've heard worse.
It's okay, as long as it's consistent, we don't care.
There are...
Oh, that's a horrible English accent.
I have several groups working for me to assist in what I'm looking to achieve.
And that is...
Not necessarily privy to your required knowledge today. However, I do have a mining operation on an asteroid, a few systems from here that I would like to see destroyed. It's run by one of the triads.
Oh, okay.
It mines an ore that, when combined with several common elements, creates a massive explosion. And they're using this to coerce several other local planetary systems into doing their bidding. Most of the ore is gone, except for the very large vein they have recently discovered near the core of the rock.
Most of the doors gone except for like that half they have yet to
Well, it's in the core, so it's harder to get out.
They don't frack it.
Retrieve some of the ore for me and destroy the mine.
What's the point of destroying a mine that's almost done?
There's enough ore that they'll still have several years of mining there. They have been hitting it for over 10 years now.
Why don't you go in your super spaceship and blow it up from orbit? This takes all of about 6 hours for you.
It is the only way to be sure.
I cannot blow it up from orbit. The resulting explosion would destroy my ship and half of that system.
Why don't you make
Us
a
to do
drone,
that.
some sort of automated machine with your massive brain of yours, the size of a planet, the size of Sputnik? How come you can't just make an automated machine that would blow it up?
Because it's much easier to hire you.
Oh,
By the way, but I appreciate the So I Married an Axe Murderer reference.
thank you, Adam. Very good.
I haven't seen that one, so I can't appreciate that.
His head is huge. Get out of the way. I
It's
can't
like-
see the television. Look at the size of his head. It's the
It's
size
like
of Sputnik. Goes to sleep at night. He cries great big tears into his great big pillow. Never mind.
It was actually it was before my mind started to suck.
This is right around Wayne's World time. Got it.
Yeah, actually, it was either between Wayne's World or between Wayne's World and Austin Powers.
So you will need there is gravity there. There is no atmosphere. You will need your suits.
Convenient, they're parked right outside.
Yes. Well, I do have some tech to assist you. Should those suits help with any damage to those suits, so you would not decompress immediately and die.
That would be nice.
So you want us to blow up this mine and half the system? That's it.
I want you to retrieve some of the ore from there and then destroy the mine. Whether it's just collapsing,
How much ore?
I'd be satisfied with 3 tons.
3 tons?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything about mining? Steel orbit's been mined.
So what say you?
Maybe there's another reason why you're not able to do this. Maybe it's just you on this ship and all your cool toys. Maybe right now there's 7 of us and just 1 of you. And maybe, just maybe, there's not enough lasers inside this room to stop us from cutting your throat and taking the ship for ourselves for our own. What do you think about that?
I think that you are welcome to put that theory to the test at any point you'd like.
Rain will do a notice.
Not
to
the answer you
see
expected.
if he's bluffing.
I sniff. I'm not going to go first.
Rain is untrained in notice.
Dude, this is Savage Worlds. How could you be untrained to notice? It's like the...
Can we
I
discuss this?
figured everybody else would be trained.
Yeah.
He didn't do bad though. He exploded on the 4. He got a 6 total.
All right, what was he noticing?
To see if he was lying.
Uh,
No, he really believes you're good.
he said he's pretty much telling you to bring it. If that's what you want.
Like, wanting to see if he's confident that he would be protected 7 on versus his automated system. So he has a feeling that he is quite confident.
Yep.
Okay,
He's feeling pretty safe.
fair enough. Rain makes no move.
All right. So, what say you?
Aren't we in good with Triad right now?
You were working for one. You broke into the other ones and destroyed the base and stole all the medical research. So you have one enemy, one person who has used you, may or may not use you again, may or may be your friend you don't really know.
I'm a little confused. Like, would we be pissing off the same people we've already pissed off, or would we be pissing off the people who we held owe us favors?
He has not specified which member of the Triad mines that were there.
Although we should ask that. So, which Triad member who owns this mine?
It's the 3rd one you haven't spoken to yet.
Well, we haven't pissed anybody off in the past couple hours.
They're
How do the ones that we worked for feel about that last week?
all rivals, you know that.
Oh, okay, that's funny. Just didn't want to be happy with that. And how much are you paying us?
I'll fix your cloaking device.
I said, how much are you paying us?
What is a good cloaking device going to cost you?
Really? That's all you've got? You just spent the past 20 minutes telling us how rich you were and how big your wiener was, and now all you're gonna do is fix our cloaking device for the service. Come on now, you've got money. You just explained to us how much money you've got.
Hey,
You
guys,
built up
guys,
fast.
guys! A good cloaking device is like 20 grand.
Okay, so he's only got to make up another 80 grand.
20 grand. If he was in a black hole for 300 years and he put a penny in a savings account with 2% interest, 20 grand is what he's making after the first 50 years.
Two
This
percent
guy's
interest.
rich.
2% interest. Where are you putting your money? I want to put mine there.
I know, right? Shit. Better than a quarter.
The counter. Don't just bitch about it. Negotiate.
Okay, so like I said,
This is how Ray negotiates. He bitches about things.
To answer your question, the cloaking device, we bought that one for 3. We could have gotten a good one for 15 to 20 at the time. But seeing as how you want us to blow up a mine and steal you a ton of ore, well, good service doesn't come cheap. I figured.
Look,
What's that, Ray?
I was gonna say, what we really want is another ship like this. Get us a ship like this, we'll do everything you want.
Well, he'll do everything.
I'll make you a counter proposal. I have between 8 and 10 things that I wish to have taken care of. Some of them easy, some of them a little more complicated. At the end of that list, I will turn the ship over to you.
We'll need expense accounts. Gotta eat. Gotta buy supplies.
I will make
Have
sure
you ever done anything in the power retreat?
I will make sure your vessel is well stocked. And not just
Wait a minute.
spacecraft.
This vessel makes food out of nothing, guys. What do you really need an
You can
expensive?
take energy, you can sit around the sun and make whatever the fuck you want. It's not the technology we just saw.
It's not easy.
It's, you know, like, holodeck, what the things that they
Replicator.
Replicators. What else do you need? That's everything.
Adam would be in heaven. He'd never leave.
Oh, no, what do you need? I got everything I want. I can do anything I want.
Anyone you want.
You
So,
guys realize one of the downsides of replicators, though, is like whenever you ask for a turkey sandwich, it's the exact same identical.
always
turkey
tastes the
sandwich
same,
every
yeah.
time. It's just a single scan of the one turkey sandwich, so there's never any variation. You're just stuck with that one.
I want.
But you know what? As long as I get the formula for Ryan and Ale, I won't care what the turkey sandwich tastes like.
I want turkey sandwich number 2 today. That's the one with the extra ounce of meat. It's slightly
I guess
saltier.
You could ask for the component turkey slices and then make your own sandwich. But,
There you go.
I want the grade B turkey sandwich today. I want a crappier one.
Well, you know, we can program it. We can actually program it with variables. Because when Picard always used to order tea real right hot, he never specified a temperature. So he must have programmed when he said hot, it was a variable to mean this exact temperature or this range of temperature rate of the generator.
Anyway,
I'm just glad you brought that up.
the offer is on the table.
Alright, I think that's a better offer if we get the ship in the end.
I'm
We've
thinking
got to
that we should
pick
compare
our
this
cloaking
to
device as well.
I think we should compare this to our other current offers.
Captain, what do you think?
You know, I love how like you guys be captured by random chance. I think he's actually captain. I love how you're just fucking with each other.
He's just sleeping. Jeff's out now.
Jeff's out, yeah.
No, I'm still here. I heard my
That
name.
reminds me of the time I fell asleep in a lecture hall. And the professor said, "What do you think?" Everybody started laughing. He said, "You have the red shirt." And I'm like, "Huh?"
So the offer is presented. Did you miss the offer?
Just say yes.
He has 8 to 10 missions that he needs done, and then at the end, the ship will be yours. He just went back out again. What did I just say?
That's why I took your
He's the eyes are closed. Jeff's gone.
Yes,
He-
yes.
he said he has 8 to 10 missions for you, and at the end, the ship will be yours.
Say yes.
Yes.
And if you do a really good job, I might even transfer your AI over.
Well, we have to have
Yeah, that was. We kind of were thinking that was. We were kind of thinking that was going to be a requirement if we went to do it on our own.
This is one of the Saras I've read about. I might be able to find you one that's a little less finicky.
Oh, no, we could never ask for something like that. We wouldn't want that at all.
The sensor in your earpiece tells me your head is lining up and down, Dexter.
Oh, sorry, I was just getting a little jumpy, Sarah.
I don't believe you. Cold showers. Although after what happened in the bathroom, maybe you should have at least one warm one to clean things up.
So,
Right, well, how can you guarantee that you'll be giving us a ship afterwards? We can't be writing a contract with you after all. We're the type of people that don't follow contracts.
that is true.
We are the type of people who enforce our contracts, though.
I think for every mission we'll be needing an act of good faith on your part. Perhaps sharing a piece of technology so that we know eventually we'll be getting what we need.
Or just cut your ship up into 10 parts, and every time we do a job, give us another part. And we'll put it together like a Lego box.
William Hartnell.
Does anybody want to have Sue take a walk somewhere? Because Sue's not smart enough to put a ship back together, let alone tie his shoes.
Just because I wear Velcros doesn't mean I don't know how to tie my shoes.
Sue, you do one thing and one thing only. You kill people.
No,
Stick with killing people. That's what you're good at.
And then I kill them. It's 2 things.
All right, 2 things. Stick with those 2 things. Don't deviate.
I will, upon your return, I will fully stock your ship a second time, because I'll stock up before you leave. I will give you a tour of this vessel and some of the technical specifications for it.
Alright, I think that's starting to sound more agreeable.
In fact, if you want, you can go down those stairs over there. He points to the stairs on your screen.
The stairs over there?
Yep. And here, I'll show you those. And take a look what's in hold number 1.
That's all we're looking over.
It looks like a dune buggy.
You know, you're sounding a bit like that old Earth personality called Monty Hall. Look behind hold number 1, or would you like what's behind hold number 2?
Let's make a deal.
Shoot, what did I just do here? Polygon reveal. That's not what it was.
I hate when my phone gets revealed.
To the right.
How exactly
Scroll to the right, guys.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Scroll to the right. And you realize that opens and that buggy will drive out.
Ooh. That's sad.
There's a full shop down there for working on stuff.
And how exactly are we going to get 3 tons of ore, gentlemen?
Probably with the new book.
I don't think that thing's going to hold 3 tons of ore. Unless he's got a trailer that goes along with it.
It's like the whole. Let's see. It's like the old back when the first airwaves were shooting across the earth. There was a guy who used to say, "Today, 2 trips, Alice, 2 trips." Any honeymooners fans know?
Yeah, a long time ago, but yes.
Does it look like that vehicle can carry 3 tons of material?
No, it's
And of us?
well, I don't. It depends. You're going to be on a small asteroid, so the gravity's going to be less.
Oh, good argument.
So 3 tons isn't really a
That's
good
true.
measurement.
Yeah, 3 tons where?
All right.
You could say what's 6.6 kilograms,
How about a
or I guess it would be
10 cubic meters?
how dense is this stuff? Can we de-densify it?
No, but Sarah can hold it.
I'm just thinking, like 10 cubic meters. Can we take one and somehow molecularly fill it with air? Separate the fuck. We heat it up. Basically.
No, you can't. If you start heating it up, you don't know what's going to happen to this stuff.
That's true. It is a small one.
Yes.
I don't know, guys. This sounds like a pretty good deal. We went from having to fight our way onto this ship to try to steal it to he's going to give it to us.
Just risking our neck 8 to 10 times in between. I would call it a good deal. I call it.
Yeah, well, he's also restocking our ship, and and he might, even fix Sarah.
What's wrong with me?
I don't think Sarah needs any kind of fixing.
Your
whatsoever.
shower's gonna be cold for a while, bub.
I don't mean fix Sarah from the perspective of you're broken, but maybe give you some more upgrades.
What's wrong with me as I am? Always
What?
met, always with the upgrades.
Sarah,
Bigger
would you
boots,
like
tighter
would you
butt.
like a better cloaking device, Sarah? One that we know is going to work all the time?
It's so much more entertaining watching you guys scurry about, though.
Sarah, think about this, Sarah. Think about how much cooler it would be for you if you had a cloaking device that worked all the time.
But
Come on now, Sarah.
I might like that.
You know you would like it. You know you like it when we stroke your ego.
I might like that. I just might like that. Just maybe a little bit.
Okay, see, Sarah? See, work with us here, Sarah. We're not against you. We love you, Sarah. You're part of our team.
Kissing up, that'll get you a warm shower.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, so
I don't even think Sue should get a shower, Sarah, just so you know.
I don't want to smell him. Do you?
I don't want to smell him either. That's a good point. Just give him a nice cold one.
It was Dexter, not Sue.
Oh, Dexter? Dexter said something about you?
Dexter had the wise comment. He was nodding his
I
head the
think
wrong
Dexter-
way.
Well, Dexter should be the last person, Sarah,
You know
who's
what's
got
happening?
any wise comments.
When you can find a better way for me, not my head, you just let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, Dexter, we're going to change your name to 1.2 seconds. Or we just might call you Lickety Split from now on.
Chris is gonna crash his car listening to this.
Yes, I have something you can like Buster.
Chris is gonna
And
crash his car.
that does remind me, speaking of Chris, Dr. Hartnell would be remiss if he didn't request as part of these terms access to some level of new medical technology, either a fully equipped modern laboratory or whatever new technology has been developed.
Doc, I imagine that this ship's got all this other stuff. I'm sure it's got all the toys you could ever want to play with.
Excellent. Then I will agree to this arrangement. From now.
Doctor, do you ever wonder where does he get those wonderful toys?
Where does he get those wonderful toys? Dexter, I have a question for you. This is the doctor. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you were in that room? Or have you ever piloted a spaceship and then just realized that 5 parsecs have passed and you don't remember riding those 5 parsecs?
That's Adam driving home every Tuesday night.
It's not quite 5 parsecs.
Yes, that was me every time.
All right, so is this a deal? Do we have a deal?
Yeah,
I think we got a deal.
All right,
I,
I'll transfer the coordinates of the mine to Sarah. Over there, I'll have Sanim deliver some additional foodstuffs and fuel, along with some repair kits for your suits. Actually, I'll just provide you with better suits.
Does Sonny want to come along with us? He's good company.
No,
Oi, it's not a contract yet. You don't know how to sign a contract if you're not Scottish. Call back that bottle and we can drink on it.
Nice.
What just happened? I missed it.
I snapped my fingers.
He snapped his fingers and the bottle came back.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, I got a question. What is that blue stuff that we were drinking?
That is Romulan ale.
That is horrific.
No, it just takes a little getting used to.
I'd say so.
That's what
Make
they.
sure make sure the ship has a lot of that on it.
That's what they drink on Phantasos, where the ship was made, where
Make sure
Sanim
the
is
ship's
from.
got a lot of that on it.
That's where Sanim is from.
Is Sonny a fantastic?
Yes.
He's from the planet Aen? What a great planet!
Is there a planet whiskey nearby?
As they plan a drunken stupor.
Hey, speaking of your large friend there, you know that we could do our tasks better if we had a slightly larger crew, and he'd be a good member of the crew. Maybe he should join us.
He sticks with this ship.
So does that mean he comes with us when we get the ship, or?
He's my engineer now. When they turn the vessel over to you, what he does is up to him. So you'll have to take that up with him when the time comes.
Sounds good. He seems like a good man. Hey, could we get some of that extra Romulan ale? I need to start drinking that a little bit if he's going to keep making me drink with him.
Well, then let's have a toast with that. And his scotch goes away, and a table materializes with 8 glasses of Romulan ale. And he raises this glass and he says, "To our new partnership." It takes his down.
I raise my glass and I take a baby sip, kind of like the costume that's.
Dude, you're a pirate. You know you got to drink the whole thing.
All right.
Sue will definitely drink it.
You want a spirit check?
I want a spirit or a vigor check from everybody.
As he drinks it, Dexter does this.
Oh, this is a good one.
Spirit or vigor?
Spirit or vigor, whatever's better. I'll give you your choice. Poke Jeff, wake him up.
What did Dexter?
Rain got a 6.
Or he could just
Okay, Rain. So this is Rain's first time with this stuff. It is, the eyes go up, get really wide. You ever eat that? You know when you get General Chow's chicken and they had a really hot pepper in there? You ever eat one of those?
Nope, because I'm not stupid.
So it's like eating that and chewing it and then having it go all the way down. It burns like that bad all the way down.
Ouch.
And
Not
then,
for J. Jonah this time.
and then it's a small supernova in your skull.
Wow.
That's if you pass.
It's a Pangalactic Gargle Blaster. It is.
J. Jonah rolled a 14.
J. Jonas maybe apparently getting a little used to this. Little hair of the dog after.
It's like his 5th one at this point.
Hartnell?
Oh, Hartnell, right. What do you think his spirit is? I'm
Uh,
guessing his
It's going to be at least a D6.
Yeah, I'll give it a
his
6.
spirit is tied to healing, right? So maybe D6.
Oh, yeah.
What's it the big crit?
Oh, he exploded.
All right, so Hartnell, having been around the block a few times,
He got a 7.
recognizes what it is and
Oh, you want to roll for yourself?
lives with the pain.
You were taking shots of Romulan ale.
Pangalactic Gargle Blaster. I'm renaming it. I like that.
Like, it's okay. Take Galactic Gargle Blaster.
It's a spirit or vigor, your choice. Rain?
5.
And then you have to do for, what about Tyson?
Rain?
That, he was the other guy, right?
Oh,
Bob.
Rain already rolled. He got a 6.
Okay.
What did you roll that?
And Dexter?
Dexter did the faint.
And he puts the glass down and it fills back up. He looks at it. He noticed. He points at the glass and it fills back up. To the
I'm
rim.
not Scottish.
To the rim.
I'm not Scottish.
You're toasting our new partnership.
Yeah, I'm not
Dexter, if you're
Scottish.
not Scottish, you're crap.
Tyson falls to his knees, hurling everything he ate at the party on the floor.
That's why I'm not.
He's a lightweight.
Mazer gets a very disappointed look on his face.
Come on.
If you want this partnership, we all drank it.
I grab Dexter by the head, I grab his nose, take his head back, and pour it down his gullet.
These fucking guys. Fuck you too.
Well, everybody's good.
Betty 1. Betty 2.
5.
5. It's kind of like the first.
You want more?
It's kind of like the first time you had a drink yourself. We're partners now. I'm your goddamn partner. I need my little medallion. Put on the staff of Ra. So, all right. So, Sanim shows up, and Mazer has a way to transfer stuff relatively easily between Sarah and the Renegade.
Can't you just beam it up onto our ship?
He doesn't have a transporter tech.
That's actually what you described as exactly a transporter.
No, I didn't.
I guess it's a matter of where you can make the energy
Yeah.
materialize.
Yes, you have to have focal beams there or not.
Okay.
Don't have the distance. So Sarah's
All
refueled.
we have to do is think of it as space that's the ship is holding still.
Refilled. You have your you have some new provisions brought on board that are actually much tastier than what you had. The coordinates for the mine are transferred to your navigational systems.
What I miss?
Your ship's stocked up. The coordinates for the mine are sent to your navigation systems, and new spacesuits are sent up. Looking at them, they're definitely an improvement to what you had. Self-sealing.
I have one question. Do we get to keep the costumes?
Were the costumes part of the space?
The costumes are locked in the form in which they came in. They're not really reprogrammable, but you're certainly welcome to keep them.
I think Sue should definitely keep his.
You guys realize just how ridiculous you are standing in your costumes. He's in a flowing, elegant robe, very, very royal and regal.
Sue just realized he needs to take his off.
Oh, I thought the costumes disappeared when he snapped his fingers in the hologram.
No, he left you feeling like turkey.
Oh, then Raid would have had that thing off quick.
Well,
But,
you didn't
Yeah, but then we would have been standing there naked.
Raid is a skunk. He doesn't care.
It's just like we're gonna kill people without putting the kill on.
Yeah.
It feels the same.
It's a little drafty.
All right.
It's a little drafty either way.
So I'm assuming that's probably a decent place to stop. I have to ask, was that completely unexpected?
So yeah, oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a big battle. Chris isn't here. No, the big battle we were promised 2 weeks ago still don't have.
Are you disappointed?
No, it was fun, Josh. I saw Fog of War. I saw tactical maps. I thought, aha, tonight we're having a fight. But this was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Not just a fight, but like a tactical fight. Like, okay, where are you? Okay, you're out of range.
Yes.
I stand up, I shoot, I drop throw. I stand up, I shoot, I drop throw.
Yes, I advance. All right.
You're stunned.
So the next session is March 4th. Bob, will you be in attendance then?
Yes, I sure will.
All right. How's your mother-in-law? She get better finally?
Slowly but surely. She the gallbladder surgery was the easy part. She was great with that. 3 days before the gallbladder surgery, she was on O2, and a tank, she slipped and the tank fell on her shin, and it created a cut that created a flap of skin that they first sewed together, but it wasn't healing right, so they had to debride it and basically leave it open. So there's this giant open wound on her shin that's about the size of my open palm.
Wow.
And now she has to slowly wait for that to heal, and
That
it's
takes
hard
forever.
to walk on, it's hard to sleep. On top of that, she's got pedal edema, and so her feet swell a ton, and then when they swell, the wrappings all get tight and they cut off her circulation, so we gotta not do the wrapping. So it's good times, but it's going to be a while before she heals up that particular wound. And so ironically, the major surgery went perfectly. It's this side injury that's causing the problem.
But it's a good thing you're there to be a nurse, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're making food and changing bandages and cleaning the house and doing laundry, and we have a roommate. Or from her perspective, she's got 2 roommates. A woman who's fiercely independent now has to live with 2 people and all these things that she's used to doing. So it's a good time. And meanwhile, here I am in this nursery of Andrea's, an 8x8 room, which I also work in by day. So yeah, I'm looking forward to vacation, guys.
I understand.
So Amy got a new job. I don't know if everybody heard about it, but it's Autism on the Sea. So it's a cruise ship it's a travel agency that books cruises for people with kids with special needs.
Really?
They do all kinds of respite care and stuff. So if you got on there and you had an autistic kid, they would actually take the autistic kid and watch them for you, so you could enjoy part of the cruise too. And they arrange things when they have bigger groups, and they make work with the cruise lines and all that kind of jazz. So, gosh golly darn it, we have to go on a cruise in May.
You poor bastard.
Oh my gosh, Josh, that is awesome.
Well, Amy
Does it-
has to go on a cruise.
Does that mean, though, that she will be doing a lot of travel and will be away from home a lot?
No, she has to go on at least one cruise to see the whole operation start to finish.
It's training for her.
It's basically training for her. He's paying for her. We're paying for us. She won't have to work the whole time on the cruise. And then
Or so they say.
going forward, though, like they have a cruise that goes out of Bayonne, New Jersey, once or twice a month. He wants ultimately for her to be able to go down the night before, get that all set up, introduce all the people, and get them on board, and then come home. So she doesn't take the cruise, but she's down there for the whole day.
That'd be a good idea.
Oh, I see.
So he's really trying to gear her to take over a lot of his roles. I think he's going to do more of the marketing and sales stuff. So
How long has the company been around?
company's been around for like 4 or 5 years, but they're just announcing a big partnership with Royal Caribbean now.
How many people's?
It's the guy, his wife, his mother, and his cousin. So she's
Oh,
the first
wow.
real employee.
That's tough.
So
That's kind of one of those. That's a job that doesn't have set hours.
no, it doesn't. And he said, yeah, "I'm going to send you home on Friday an hour early, and you're probably going to get calls here and there, and you'll make up that extra hour." So
And that's
It sounds like an exciting opportunity, though.
it sounds
Wow.
like she should keep a timesheet.
for her, it is because this is the kind of thing she loves to help people. And this way, she's going to be his right hand, so she's going to be making all kinds of effort and decisions and helping with a lot of stuff. So she's excited about it. So,
Cool.
That's awesome, Josh.
so there'll be a week in May where I won't be here.
Just make sure look
Good
at
for
the
you, man.
schedule.
Good for you.
Just make sure it's not a game night.
That's it, because I'm not playing from the boat.
And then, of course, we know that Mike, he had a big change in his life this past week as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
they kicked him out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Took what, less than 15 minutes for them to shut my access off?
It was 5 minutes till I had the email to turn you off, and it was 15 till the email went to everybody saying Mike Morrow doesn't work here anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mikey.
Thank you.
So when do
Very
you start?
excited about it. The new company I haven't started at yet, and they've already done more for me in 2 weeks than my old company did in 3 years.
Oh, did they pay you a commission?
It's only a paid commission.
Yeah, it's pretty frightening.
And when's your first day with that company, Mike?
Next Tuesday technically is my first day.
Nice. Excellent. So at least you get a little time off before that starts up.
I did. I made sure I had at least this week off, even though I'm doing some prep stuff. Last Friday, I had off too. I took my brother fishing. We rented a charter boat and we went out fishing. And so trying to enjoy a few days before I know the insanity that will begin starts.
Jeff is so funny. Jeff doesn't understand the concept of changing jobs.
I pray I don't have to change the job.
Is it now Jeff and I are the only ones in the group who have had the same job since we started the gaming group?
I have. My job hasn't really. My job is kind of weird in that. I mean, I work with
Your
the same
job
people.
changed more now than when you switched companies.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same people. It's supporting some of the same stuff, but it keeps changing here and there. The company's changed.
Bob, mine has not changed much, though.
You're teaching the same kids you were teaching 5 years ago?
Pretty
You
close.
must suck.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's funny.
SF, GD.
We were talking about. I mean, Adam said he's been coming here half as long as he's been married or something.
Yeah, half my marriage I've been coming here.
Hell, I've been coming here longer than I've been married.
That's true.
That's true.
Longer than Tyler's been around.
The gay strip club, Bob.
That's right.
Strip club.
Because it's less embarrassing to lie about that.
You know, Andrew
Yeah.
did ask, because I think Josh mentioned that, like maybe on January 2nd or January 1st or something, we were driving home, she's like, why did he make that joke? And I said, well, it's I think the idea is that it's more embarrassing, honey. Oh.
Oh, I thought she was in on that.
I think she was laughing, but it didn't quite sink home, and then she got it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, what would be more embarrassing? Going to DP or lying about being gay to your girlfriend.
Okay, just FYI, I know everybody took the Walking Dead quiz that you sent out. Do you know there's like 800 other quizzes in there?
Yeah, I'm Storm.
I took the X-Men one.
I want up Storm too. That's pretty funny.
I was being,
I wonder if that one is up. I only saw the Walking Dead one.
Oh, there were a ton of them on there. That site
And
is
then
a killer.
I wound up as Geordi on one of the Star Trek ones.
Check off.
I would picture it was Riker.
And
Oh, and I was Riker.
And when I took it again, I wound up Riker.
Did the right group have anything to say about bitch and goatees?
No.
They totally should have.
Yeah, but were you Will Riker or were you his transporter clone Thomas Riker? That's the question.
No, I would
William.
give you that option.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was amused that Andrea took the Walking Dead quiz and she ended up as Carl.
Yeah, what did it say about
That's
Carl?
awesome.
I will say this week's episode was really good for Carl.
I thought it was fantastic.
I agree. Yeah. He did some real good acting there too. There were a couple of scenes that I think got a little dusty in the room for a second, just a briefest of moment.
I was just thinking more along the lines of, here's this child actor, teenager, who basically has to do a monologue. Like, there's teenagers who do monologues like
But,
that.
you know,
They did a great job.
There were times he was walking around the streets by himself, and he had that little badass strut, and he really played it well, I thought.
I thought, like, overall, the whole episode was well written and well acted.
Now, I don't look at previews.
I didn't watch the preview.
Now, how soon do people think we're gonna find the other group, or is it gonna be a split? Watching one week, then the other one the next week.
The impression I got is that we'll be looking at least Glenn and Maggie and Beth was on there.
Daryl.
Actually, I don't know about Glenn and Maggie. I remember seeing Beth
And Daryl.
and Tyrese and his sister and the kids.
And Ben took off with Daryl, so Daryl would be there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
Daryl's
Maggie
with them.
was not on there? She was.
I don't recall. I won't say she was.
Maggie didn't get on the bus with Glenn.
So I agree. I think they're going to use the technique of they're going to split. So 1 week we'll see one part of the group, and 1 week we're going to see another. And we might even see like how hardship really changes one of the group from what they originally were, while the other group has good luck. Maybe one of the groups has bad luck and has to make some really tough decisions. And then I'm going to maybe go out on a limb and say that they only get together like in the last episode, and then there's some great big reveal which sets us up for next year, whatever the plot is going to be for next year.
Yeah, Mikey, have you read the comics yet?
No, I haven't read the comics.
Okay, then I won't mention. We mentioned that Bob too. The next stop in the comics.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Josh.
What do we think? Is there 5 or 6 episodes?
It's like that, yeah. And I'm wondering if Daryl replaces Abraham.
No, they've cast Abraham. They got an actor for Abraham. So we will see an Abraham eventually.
Cool.
I'm picturing the dad from Orange County Choppers.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yes.
Yeah.
Badass.
that's a hair was badass.
That's kind of how he's drawn in the comics, actually.
You know, I was really happy with how they cast Michonne, because she looks how I saw her in the comics. But I was always disappointed with how they cast Tyrese, because in the comics he is a buff, fit, agile football player, and they really went for a fella who is just kind of big and not necessarily toned,
but this,
agile, muscular.
This Tyrese is so different than the comic.
Yeah.
He shoots about as well. But this Tyrese is a bitch. I really don't like him.
Glenn was cast very well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he's likable.
Have you caught up, Bob, on the comics? Because I did finish them the other day. I caught all the way up again.
I just pulled down up to 114, but I think I haven't seen since the big one, the big shock, the giant shocking one.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anything past that one.
So, all right, gentlemen. So we're on again in 3 weeks. I believe it's March 4th.
Sounds good.
How long is Chris gone from, Bob? Is he back? Would he be back for March 4th or no?
I talked to him today. He said that the guy who sort of bailed out as captain, rather as coach, is sort of hinting that he kind of wants Chris to do that permanently. So I think Chris may have some decisions ahead of him to figure out how he's going to handle this. If he's going to take over a second coaching position or not, and that's going to determine if he can join us through the rest of the season. So we'll have to wait and see.
I guess if it pays right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
So wait, all this like coaching like 5 or 6 days a week is for one team?
No, it's multiple teams.
I mean,
well, now it's multiple teams.
But
Previously,
before that,
yes,
he was saying like, I've got Monday and Tuesday. It's like Monday through Saturday he coaches or something like that.
Yeah, it's not even
Yeah, it's not even his kid.
No, before
That is correct.
Before
That
this
is
new
correct.
thing happened.
Yeah.
He was coaching like 5 or 6 days a week.
Well, I will say, Chris did something pretty awesome. He and his daughter was on a team of 3, and they got invited to a Disney Invitational tournament, and they won the tournament 2 weekends ago, and they was like the best in the country for 3-on-3. So he's doing something right with his coaching, and Olivia did a pretty good job as well, I have to say.
Cool.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
They're doing all right. But I know he would have missed this tonight. I think it would have been a lot more fun if he was Cardinal.
I think he did a good job.
Yeah, and Joel's gone till after tax season at this point.
Yeah. Do we think, Josh, that at some point things might sort of stabilize for him? That we might be able to get him back eventually?
End of April, he said. I believe end of April is when Mercury gets real rights back, assuming she doesn't start drinking again.
Oh, good news. Okay.
So, but I mean, he'll still be doing taxes probably until
Is that something?
May.
He's done for now.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So.
But we still have our Western Deadlands Reloaded sitting on the back burner as well, and looking forward to going back there at some point. Although I'm really enjoying this as well.
We also have the undead. What was it?
War of the Dead.
Yeah, you're right.
There's more to that at the back row behind that.
We have War of the Dead. We have that, and Adam has a.
Well, that hasn't been announced.
I hope Joel has some
That's in the weeks.
old AD&D modules that he's
And this summer, D&D Next comes out.
Okay,
Oh, that's great.
I'll
I
probably.
kind of like it that we have 3 things outstanding right now that we've played that I would be perfectly happy on any week playing any one of those 3 things.
Yeah,
plus this other stuff on the horizon, we're doing good.
I don't see D&D being a big deal for us. I would like to try Savage Worlds Fantasy at some point, but I don't see us necessarily playing D&D again. I mean, I'll buy the rules.
I think we
I
should try
wouldn't
it.
mind Joel. Like if Joel wants to run another old school module, I would definitely not mind trying that someday as well.
Do you know what I would?
Yeah,
I would pay money.
I'm in for that. I'm in for that too.
I would pay money to play Ravenloft.
I've never played Ravenloft.
I don't think any of us ever played Ravenloft, and that is supposed to be one of the.
I've never played Ravenloft.
That has got to be one of the top 2. That is one of the top modules ever written. So I think we'll have to recruit Joel for that one.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would definitely be fun.
So. All right, so another 4 to 8 inches, guys, on Thursday.
more than that.
Bob, you'll be happy to know that tomorrow night is supposed to be my 5th Lego programming class. We've had 3 canceled, including tomorrow night.
Oh my gosh, Josh, that's horrible.
It-
I'm sorry to hear that.
1 on, 1 off, 1 on, and now we'll have 2 off.
That's
just-
terrible, man.
It's so hard to get any traction.
On the plus side, I understand that Lego movie was really, really good.
Yeah, we're gonna try to see this. We're gonna try to see
You
it
got
Monday.
that going for you. I don't know if that gives you any credit for.
It won't be till like
Robot
3 or
though.
3:30, but yeah.
Yeah. I sympathize with you guys. It's going to be horrible here for the next day or 2.
Mike, just shut the fuck up right now.
So
Just stop talking.
I'm gonna try not to get any more sunburn on my arms.
Okay, wait a minute. On your bald head.
My bald head.
Oh, you're terrible, Mike. You're absolutely terrible.
Mike,
We got 16 inches coming tomorrow.
Mikey, how far south is the storm starting? Like, your guys aren't getting
No.
into this one, right? Because they said Atlanta's supposed to get another
6
maybe,
inches.
maybe 2 inches.
Oh, it's 2 inches.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm literally. I mean, I'm about 2 hours from Miami. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so we're way south in Florida.
Can we send him like boxes?
What?
All
When
right,
are,
gentlemen, thank you very much for the fun time. Josh,
Yeah.
excellent job as usual. I hope that y'all have a
Oh,
great few weeks.